now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment. We are live for this edition of the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media Watch-Along. I will be taking over for the first part of this as producer man and hosting this week's festivities for NXT Spring Breakin Part 2. It is Mr. Reliable Walter Alex Cruz and the voice of the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media, Mr. Noah Foster. How you doing, my friend?
Doing very well. Good to see you all once again as we are back here for week 2 of Spring Breakin. So again, we have 2 titles on the line. We go underground with Mixed Martial Arts and Submission Techniques Challenge and so much more as we see how NXT continues to shape the landscape of WWE after the fallout of the WWE draft. Good to see you all once again here on screen. Good to see everybody in the chat. Hope everybody enjoys the conversation. Again, please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend if you want to dictate the conversation. Donate to dictate. Super chat, as simple as that. Shout out to the man who's named the marquee, Jeff Motherfucking Meacham, and of course, our Mr. NXT himself, our friend, the Renegade JJ Williams, in all his best in his current real life ventures. May he succeed. But it's good to see you guys once again. Let's get into it.
Awesome sauce. I am going to be off the screen, but you guys predict the matches going forward. Try to buy a little bit of time, like at least 2 minutes on the first match, for I will be getting myself a drink as I produce for you boys. So good luck and break a leg, boys.
All right. Sounds simple enough. Well, first up, before we get into the festivities, Walter, good to see you. For the first time ever, you and I are actually going to do some commentary and coverage together. Simply Reliable, folks, has come to life. So enjoy it. And if you like it, let us know. You may see more of it. Walter, before we get into everything, how you feeling tonight about NXT overall and how you been?
I'm doing well. It's good to see you. Good to see and be seen, as I always say. I'm excited. I'm about a 8 or 9. Matter of fact, 9.5. NXT has been on fire lately, and it's like I'm so glad that WWE has kicked it up a notch, and we're in this new era. And I can't wait to see where we go from here, especially after the draft. And they lost a couple of people. They've been drafted off. If you've seen Raw or SmackDown, we won't say, in case you haven't watched it yet, we won't say who was drafted. But some people are gone from NXT, so it's a new era. So we get to see what's going on here.
Yeah, and again, as we keep talking about the genesis of this new era, the Paul Triple H Levesque era kicked off at WrestleMania 40 as we proceed to find out what Backlash is ahead. And stay tuned, folks, for Backlash predicting and predictions across NoDQ and the Multiverse of Media. In fact, be sure to shift gears later on after our coverage tonight to NoDQ.com, where we'll be predicting WWE Backlash. And also, to your point, of course, we've covered the WWE draft here, the Multiverse of Media as well, so people can go look at that for further thoughts. And I'm sure they'll also cover what changes have been made and what promotions have been seen from the NXT landscape to Raw and SmackDown. Cleaver Con Andrew, good to see you as always. Safety, good to see you, my friend. Good to see all the early birds here as we are just a little bit over 20 minutes away from NXT Spring Breakin Week 2 taking the airways. So let's go ahead and start talking a little bit about it. And quite a graphic he pitched first here. The North American Championships on the line as this anomaly that came out of the breakout tourney after beating Dragon Lee and surviving a clash of giants, as we saw at Stand and Deliver. It is Obafemi defending the NXT North American Championship against Ivar. One half, of course, the Viking Raiders. One half, of course, the War Raiders, former multiple-time NXT Tag Team Champions, tag team accolades across their entire career. And of course, the other half of the Raiders right now is rating a different way. Congratulations on the coming of the new child, of course, for him and Valhalla, aka Sarah Logan. I wish nothing but the best and the safest in the deliverance. That being said, it seems that here this has been described as destiny. We saw after the attack that Femi basically agreed to defend his title here after Ivar made a stunning return to NXT. It's almost one of those things where Obafemi feels like this title has made him a marked man. And as champion, you should always feel that way. You should always feel like you're being hunted. But he seems to show no fear. He welcomes it. And we've already seen him overcome the likes of Dijak, Josh Briggs, Dragon Lee in a rematch, and also even the partner of Josh Briggs in Brooks Jensen. That being said, what's your thoughts on this NXT North American Championship match? Big, meaty man, meat-slapping meat, as we like to say.
Yeah, I think this is Big E's wet dream here. Like he coined that phrase, the whole big man slapping man meat, and it ran off. So if he had his way, he had like a King of the Ring style all one tournament with all big man. These two would definitely have to be included. I mean, what else can you say? And I'm so happy for Ivar that he doesn't have to go away. Like most people get injured, and because of their partner being injured, like you don't hear from them, or they say we have nothing creative for you, and they disappear and then get lost in the shuffle. It's good to see that even though he's part of a team, they can see that he can hold his own and be a single star. And like I'm so happy that back in the old days your partner's gone and all of a sudden we have nothing for you and you're benched for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to see that. And then Obi, man, like what can you say? Like I see Obi having like a Gunther style run with this title. Like I don't see Ivar winning this. I see Obi moving on, and the fact that he's main roster on top of that Ivar. So I think that was a unique thing with Dom being NXT champ and Dragon Lee because he was just drafted. But I don't think that any other main superstars are really gonna like win a title and then not be in NXT and just go back to the main roster. So I say Obi's gonna win, but it's gonna be a tough battle. Like these two are gonna go at it. It's not gonna be a little 3-minute squash match like Obi's used to. It's gonna be some rough and tough stuff going on.
Yeah, I expect this to go the distance, similar to how he was able to stand deliver against Dijak and Josh Briggs. And we've also seen Ivar in singles action, to your point, for quite a duration of his time on Monday Night Raw. And of course, showing what he's capable of with a super heavyweight, cruiserweight style, likes of limitless ones like Keith Lee and Samoa Joe that have defined where there is no limits to what you can do in the ring. We know what Ivar's capable of. Of course, he's hung with the likes of Ricochet. So I'm looking very forward to this match, and I definitely expect this is going to be another one of those proving grounds. For me, Obafemi is still very much unproven. Yes, he's had a dominant run so far as champion. But again, he cashed in just in January. He's one of the newest people on the entire WWE landscape. In fact, there's no prior history whatsoever about this gentleman in the wrestling industry. He's as fresh as the day is long. So again, it's another huge opportunity for Obafemi to show what he's capable of as champion. So I'm looking very forward to this. Dan, it's good to see you, by the way. Welcome back.
Good to see you. I'm just going to add this one little thing, and then I'll come back off screen. We got a man who embraces his Viking heritage, taking on a man who has to go with his roots of Nigerian violence. What the fuck do you think is going to happen? Carry on.
Cultural conflict. That's fair enough. All right. Damn it, James, you accurate idiot. All right.
that means I'm smart.
Well, once in a while, you do have a moment of brilliance. So I'm proud of you. Let's go ahead and see what we got going on here. I mean, again, possible worlds collide. Of course, we know the draft is in the books, but let's go ahead and keep moving forward. Talking about the draft, as we know, we have Nathan Frazier and Axiom, the current NXT champions, taking on the Offers of Pain, one of the most notorious, dangerous, and one of the most dominant NXT Tag Team Champions of our former NXT days. The Black and Gold versus the White and Gold in the new era. Of course, Axiom David Frazier finally overcame the Wolf Dogs, Braun Breaker, and Baron Corbin literally just a couple of weeks ago, post-Stand Delivered, where they just came up short. And as we know, the Wolf Dogs are no more now that Braun Breaker is, of course, on the main roster, and Baron Corbin is still on this journey to resurgence. Again, watch the draft. You really want to know more about everything. So, again, folks, remain #spoiler-free. Be considerate to those that haven't watched WWE Raw or SmackDown or haven't tuned into WWE for a little bit. Just saying. That being said, of course, Edgar Mazar recently came back alongside their manager, of course, and Paul Ellering, who is, of course, trying to write a new Book of Pain. It's one of those things where on paper, I almost would say that the Authors of Pain kind of need to win this, but I do think about, again, Axiom and David Frazier just won this. They have that longevity in this NXT, while Akam and Razar are previous accolade NXT Tag Team Champions. So what's your take on this stance here of two different generations of NXT Tag Champions, seeing who leads the new era in the White and Gold? Walter?
Yeah, this one's a little hard for me to call because of what I just said about being main roster talent coming to NXT and winning another title, because I could very well actually see the Authors of Pain win the tag titles. But I think this is going to be one of those classic underdog tales, and Nathan and Axiom will somehow not lose the title. They might not win the match, but again, in predictions, we always say who ends up the champion, but they're going to still keep the title. So look for this not to be a clean finish, some kind of defeat, some kind of shenanigan in this match, and Nathan Frazier and Axiom maybe limping, maybe beat up, but they still walk out tag team champions.
Well, after that whole summit of the NXT locker room last week, to your point, talking about how these other talents are coming into NXT and trying to, make a name for themselves at our expense just because they might have the name value or previously were involved in this landscape. Hello, hypocrites, OC, good brothers. But that being said, it pretty much is a stand for NXT, and it's time for Axiom and David Frazier to stand deliver, put up or shut up, get beaten, or close the Book of Pain before it's even written. So I kind of agree with you. It's one of those things where I do feel like right now that Axiom and David Frazier, they need this to really put to the test how far they can go as a tag team and how far they've grown since being in NXT. It's their home. So why Cleaver does make a point, the faction does need to win desperately. I think the pressure is more on Axiom and Nathan Frazier. So I'm hoping the champs retain. Well, that being said, before we continue, as I talked about earlier, yes, James, I believe you have something that you want to announce.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, your main producer for the evening, the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, is in the house. How are you doing, good sir?
I am doing well. Can you guys hear me okay?
Absolutely.
Yes, we can. Cool. What do you wanna unveil good news? Is it good things?
No. We're not doing that on the air. No.
Oh, Ty, I didn't know. I was trying to be nice. Okay. Well, never mind. So much for that. Shit, I lost my remote. But
the good news is I'm here earlier than I thought I would be.
That is very good.
There you go. Well, again, it's your brand. It's once again their time. It's the conclusion of their 2-week spectacle. So I think it only makes sense that you definitely should be part of it. So it's good to know that you are here for it, and may Mother Nature have mercy for you on it. So far,
it's your fine. NXT. It's definitely
the video,
your
the latency, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. We're all fine.
Yeah, true that. With that said, I'm going to see myself out. I'll keep my the graphics that way you could get yours at a leisurely pace, JJ, and then you guys can just kind of go by that. With that said, have a good stream, boys.
As I always say, just enjoy life and enjoy wrestling. All right. Well, that being said, JJ, again, welcome back. This is your brand. So far, we talked about 2 matches, but I think it's only fitting that you lead the conversation on this one. Perfect segue, James. So with that being said, JJ, take it away.
Yes. Thea Hale and JC Jane, the match that I have been clamoring for like a drug fiend for the past month or so. Like, this should have been a stand and deliver match over the 6-person tag that we had. Not that there was an issue with that 6-woman tag, but this feud, this rivalry has been on the level of Trick and Mello here the last few months. And as such, it deserved that spectacle at Stand and Deliver. So I'm definitely glad we're finally going to get it. The $1 million question is does Thea Hale finally get her revenge and she finally take out the evil, toxic JC Jane? Or is there more to come in this rivalry? Wow. And I'm still on the fence about that because there's part of me that says that this needs to, like Emmanuel just put up in his $2 super chat. Thank you, Emmanuel.
Hey.
Thea needs to win and let's move on with this. But if JC is starting to build, if she is starting to build her own toxic attraction, her new toxic attraction, then this is going to keep going for probably at least into Battleground, I think. So, and I could see that because JC's already got Jasmine Nix. And now that Kiana James has been drafted, Izzy Dame is without a mentor.
Correct.
So there's your new toxic attraction right there.
Then you have the opposition, Thea Hale, Kalani Jordan,
and Fallon Henley.
So theoretically, JJ, I know you might be setting up something big in the home fight capital of the world, the UFC Aplex at NXT UFC Battleground, where a battle is likely to ensue amongst all 6 of these women. That could be their final war. But for right now, who do you go with?
I'm going to go with my heart on this one. I'm going to go with JC, or I'm going to go with Thea, excuse me.
You're fine. Okay, so we have Thea Hale. Emmanuel said Thea Hale. King Mike said Jesse Jane. And Walter, now I put it on you. Of course, we know Jesse Jane was part of the most notorious faction in these weird hybrid eras of NXT. Longest reigning NXT Women's Tag Team Champions alongside Mandy Rose, who was one of the longest reigning NXT Women's Champions, where Toxic Attraction basically made the white and gold and the rainbow in their own shade of black and red. Why Thea Hale looks to purge this toxicity and bring back purity, maybe towards her journey back towards maybe challenging once again for the NXT Women's Championship, back where this all started after her professor threw in the towel and Thea Hale lost the confidence not only in her institution, but maybe in herself. Thought she needed a change, but realized she doesn't need to change. She's not a loser. She knows who she is. And once again, JJ has his bubbly Thea Hale back. And after the threesome of babyfaces got the better of the heels at Stand Deliver, as we all predicted and expected, the story finally comes ahead in this one-on-one, non-gimmick, traditional, first time ever one-on-one match. So, Walter, where do you stand?
I'm going to also go with my heart, but my heart's a little different than JJ because I don't want this to be a one-time thing. And usually when there is a rivalry, the heel pulls off the first victory.
Correct.
Then through some kind of shenanigans, through something that's not the cleanest win, that keeps it going. And I think that the new toxic attraction is going to form. I do see it. JJ hit the nail on the head. I do see that coming. I believe that's part of why the draft went the way it did. So I see JC taking the first win. It may not be the cleanest. It may not be that. And I wouldn't mind seeing Thea Hale win. But I just got the weird feeling that JC's pulling out the first one. And this is far from over. So I got love for you, Emmanuel. But
there we go.
I'm going to go with JC. Yeah.
So we got a JC and we got a Thea, which means it's on me to be the tiebreaker.
And we know you don't enroll in Chase University. You don't subscribe to the philosophies of the great teacher, Mr. Andre Chase. So you're going to go for the toxic one here.
JJ, you know me. I'm unbiased. I look at the story because you've helped me look at the business better that way through storytelling and business acumen. But I also look at this. what's a bigger match with maybe a bigger investment in Thea Hale to pursue at NXT Battleground? Is it a 6-woman final stand when we already saw that stand deliver? Or is it an NXT Women's Championship match? May I remind you who your NXT Women's Champion is to this lovely, bubbly, heavily supported, spirited baby face of your women's division? Oh, just the prodigy, self-professed, self-proclaimed, self-obnoxious hero, now heel, full-on, Roxanne Perez, who already neutralized the biggest babyface in the NXT Women's Division now that she has ascended to a grander stage. And at this point, we want to do NXT spoilers and WWE drafts. I suppose we could because Jade already talked about one earlier. So, believe it or not, I'm going with Thea Hale on this one. I think Thea Hale does surprise us and get the win against Jessie Jane, and that leads to her road to challenging for the NXT Women's Championship again. I don't think her and Jessie Jane are done with each other, but it's also one of those things where I do think about this. You said it yourself. It's usually the first one and maybe a series. I've seen them go to 3s. I've seen them go to 2s. I don't think Thea Hale and Jessie Jane will be done with each other, but I think Thea Hale will finally neutralize this toxicity for now before Jessie Jane bubbles up again with revenge. So I'm actually going with Thea Hale, surprising us here. And it won't be by submission. I think it's going to be via surprise roll-up because you talked about the outside factors. Izzy Dame, Jasmine Nix. We talk about Fallon Henry, Kalani Jordan. All hell is going to bring on at it like rabid cats. But I'm going with Thea Hale, surprising us here with maybe something we don't expect and something Jessie don't expect. I'm going with Thea Hale for the win.
That's definitely a surprise for me, man. Probably about as surprising as when you heard that I now believe in Joe Henry.
Yes! By the way, SC also now has officially been accoladed by Joe Henry. Joe Henry believes in SC, so congratulations to Sienna Chanel. That means that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, and on this show, I look at this card and I think about what we're going to talk about in our main event, as it should be. Damn it!
Well, we do have 2 other matches that were announced on social, so we probably won't get to discuss the main event until we get a full-blown non-picture-in-picture commercial break.
Yeah, that's fine. Besides, that's the most important match. We can talk about that all night. We can consider the accolades, the backgrounds, and the stage setup with all 4 of these women. 2 in the mat, 2 on the outside. But we'll talk more about that later. But yes, I picked Thea Hale.
Can we get it one time, Noah? Can we get it one time?
No. I may believe in Thea Hale a little more, but I still don't believe at all in Chase U. You ain't getting me that far. Not yet.
All right. Well, found out it was added via the social medias. Shawn Spears is looking to bring the aggression out of Ridge Holland here this evening.
Huh.
This is something that's been going on for the last few weeks, probably a little over a month, ever since Shawn Spears, the chairman, made his return to NXT. Of course, Ridge has been down in NXT for a while, trying to redevelop himself. Injury prone, known for causing injuries, of course, responsible for the injury to Big E, responsible for the injury to Elton Prince in his shoulder that resulted in him being in a wheelchair.
Right.
Straight up gimmick, we all know, but still, that was at Ridge's hand.
Right.
And then he comes down here, couple of gimmicked injuries right off the jump. And Shawn Spears has just been like, dude, he's been like Emperor Palpatine in Star Wars, like, give in to your anger. Let it flow through you. And Ridge keeps trying to maintain on the light side of the Force. He doesn't want to give into the anger, give into the hate. He doesn't want to turn into a Sith.
That's the perfect comparison, dude.
I know it is, and especially with May the 4th just at the end of the week here. But is Ridge Holland finally going to give into his hatred, or can he vanquish the chairman, Shawn Spears, in this? And this is still way too new of a rivalry. I think there's way too many legs, too much mileage here. I'm giving Shawn Spears this one because I don't think Ridge is going to snap yet, but it's gonna be that pushing him towards the snap. It's going to be Darth Vader cutting off Luke's hand.
Yeah, even I understand that reference. I agree with you completely. There's too much mental warfare going on. It's a battle of mental warfare. How far can you push a man before he breaks? And that's what Shawn Spears is doing right now. You think about the way Shawn Spears came in again with that proverbial promo about the three faces and the mask and all that type of, jazz and stuff like that. And why he already went upside down against Joe Gacy with Ridge Holland, attacking the man before the bell. And honestly, nothing else has come from that. It's one of those things right now where at the heart of Shawn Spears' return to NXT right now, it's Ridge Holland. And I think Ridge Holland right now is at a crossroads. And this match right here will take him in a direction further one way versus the other. I think Shawn Spears manipulates his way towards the win. Doesn't have to be clean. Could be disqualification. If he gets the aggression out of Ridge Holland, Shawn Spears wins no matter what. Think about that.
Walter?
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Shawn Spears wins this, and then eventually Ridge Holland joins forces with him eventually. But you got to get there. You got to, as your daughter says, let it cook. So you got to get the first one out of there. But I feel like it's a little bit of a rehash of, remember, was it Kane? A few years ago, it was like Embrace Your Hate. And it was Kane like they were trying to get John Cena to, it was Kane trying to get John Cena to change. It didn't work, but I feel like this will work. I think Shawn Spears is a good enough character and he can get in Ridge Holland's head and manipulate him. But I think it is brave of WWE and NXT to actually make that a story. Holland's injuring people, and then I was a little iffy about that when they first did that, and I was like, why bring that to TV, man? Because deep down he feels bad for what he did to Big E, but I mean,
I'm not gonna lie, I was skeptical too. But unlike the Maxine Dupree thing with the Candice LeRae heel turn, this has actually been booked properly.
Yeah, I give it to him.
And also they're using that, you think about how Ridge Holland feels about that. If they could find a way for Ridge Holland to look past that not only helps his career, but also Big E understands that too. Because come on, that he and Big E probably talked about this type of stuff too. There had to be some clairvoyances before proceeding with this. He, Shawn Michaels, Ridge Holland. Then it's good on all fronts. This is very wise booking.
I almost think that's how I want to see Big E come back, is when Ridge vanquishes Shawn Spears, have him use the same move that put Big E on the shelf.
Oh, man.
Do it successfully, and then have Big E come out afterwards and embrace him.
Yeah.
Kind of showing the whole world that he forgives him. I think that would be huge.
Peace finally at heart and mind for Ridge Holland. All right.
And then the other one that was added, we kind of knew a little bit about it last week because we saw the vignette for this new tag team, Tyson and Tyreek. We knew they were going to make their debut. They ain't going to get no slouch team to go against. They've got the Good Brothers in their debut match. Gallows and Anderson.
Well, that's a unique setup.
And I feel like on the surface, you would think, well, Gallows and Anderson should win. They're the vets. These two guys are untested, but that's the key, I think. They're untested. If you're going to establish them, if you're going to make a name for them, if you're going to set them up for something here, then they've got to go over on the Good Brothers.
Yeah, and it's also one of those things where it's their debut. And I feel right now their debut is important for them to leave a good first impression. And beating former Raw Tag Team Champions, that's a hell of a statement. But also the OC, the Good Brothers, they're two guys that don't like losing. So at the end of the day, they still might get their comeuppance beating the daylights out of them post-match. But I'm curious to see what this new tag team will do as I look at the feed and we are mere seconds away, changing gears into NXT Spring Breakin. So without further ado, Jets and Multiverse of Media, let's get right into it. Let's get ready to go.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to this shindig.
As always, here's the JMN Multiverse of Media, where we cover all the specials, all the brands, all things professional wrestling. Damn it. WWE, NXT, Ring of Honor, AEW, NJPW, TNA, and sometimes some other stuff too. We come together following the WWE draft to bring our conclusive coverage of NXT Spring Breakin' Week 2. As of course we saw last week, as you see from the hype package when Spring Breakin' kicked the airways off. We of course had a beach brawl. We had 6-man tag team action, impromptu women's singles match, And most importantly, the NXT Women's Championship was on the line in a triple threat opener. And of course, the NXT Championship was on the line in the main event. We saw how far Tatum Paxley was willing to go to try and achieve the one thing that she has been looking for her entire career. And Roxanne Perez, like a thief in the night, prevented her from achieving that. We also know who we're going to go in the underground with against the Queen of Hearts and this Latina fire with an MMA background. Carmen Petrovic, Shayna Baszler, the corner people for Natalia and Lola Vice. The top Ganja was buried underneath the waves in the beach brawl against Zoruka, who snatched her soul and planted her through a table. Very curious to see what's ahead for Zoruka as we prepare for the NXT Women's North American Championship tournament participants to be determined. And of course, last but not least, we saw, we embraced, we celebrated, we reacted, and we shared in the moment where we saw Trick Williams whoop that Trick and slay the Mad Dragon. The entire wrestling world was abuzz talking about that main event, Ilya Trick 3. And boy, did they stand and deliver and brought everything possible that night, JJ.
Yeah, last week was a phenomenal event. You know, Ilya Dragunov, Lyra Valkyria now going up to the main roster. Best of success to them up there. Yeah, I kind of said it to Walter last night when we were doing our draft post show. I can only imagine what Shawn Michaels feels like, considering he's been down there cultivating this talent, kind of like a parent watching their kids go off to college and leaving the nest, you know? And for a guy, as silly as it may sound, who's invested his time and energy in this brand for the better part of the last 2 years, who's seen some of these kids grow and develop and reach their apex. I'm not going to lie, I got a little bit emotional watching Ilya, Lyra, and especially Blair getting drafted last night.
Well, that was last night.
I got emotional watching them get emotional, and I loved the fact that we were getting to see the people behind the characters cut their promos. You know, Kiana James on Friday gave quite the babyface promo. Blair gave quite the babyface promo. And it was just good to kind of like let that wall down for everybody and be like, this is who I am. And I mean, just big moves being made, man. I can't wait to see what happens. Just like I can't wait to see how this young man does. First time coming to the ring as your new NXT champion. It's a Trick era, baby.
Yes, it is, JJ, as he sees this moment and slay the dragon last week at Spring Breakin, putting it all on the line, saying that it would be for the final time he would grace the stage NXT if he lost that night. But he didn't. He whooped that Trick, and now is the face of your NXT. Let's go ahead and hear what Trick Williams has to say here. As Trick Williams again talked about how we all made this happen. We all wanted this. Trick Williams is the new NXT champion.
NXT faithful chanting, you deserve it.
And he earned it. What are you focus? Damn right. And again, since we talked about the draft, as you pointed to earlier, and I'm definitely going to talk more about that during the picture commercial. Congrats to Ilya Dragunov, one of few elite drafted up to the other rosters, now part of Monday Night Raw. Thank you for everything done for me in my career. Yep. Yeah, Raw got the good one, in my opinion.
Yeah. And with the fact that Raw kept Gunther and Kaiser and got the New Catch Republic, Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, and now they've added Dragunov too. Noah's going to get excited on Monday nights, boy. That's his NXT UK.
I honestly might start watching Monday Night Raw if I see all those men booked at the same time the right way. Just saying.
And Alban Isla also moved over.
Whoop that era.
There you go.
All right. Break records, continue to make history. Oh, bloody hell.
Here comes the metaphor. Oh, the meta one. It's Lash. It's his real life woman.
Oh, this is a trap. What? Oh, boy. What's in the envelope?
Mm-hmm.
I sense a trap.
Trap or not, you know they got to be loving being in there having this segment together.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, no past history laws there.
Miss Legend putting a little respect on her name.
Yep, Trick Williams is a gentleman. Stop! What?
Watch that be one of her pet names for him.
What? Okay, this is not Valentine's Day or Vengeance Day. What the hell's happening here? Oh, give me a break.
This
am I watching NXT or am I watching Love Connection?
This is good shit.
Yeah, seriously, for once I agree with the TikTok reject.
The truth.
Oh, is this going to be one of those pregnancy cheat angles here? Where's Maury? Right. Well, that was some random nonsense. I'm not sure what Lash Legend's trying to do. Gold digger. But anyway, something in that envelope defining the truth. Like maybe she thinks Trick can't handle the truth, but I guess we'll continue to follow this story as it develops, folks.
Interesting. Oh, Lord. We get some more with Ariana Grace and Gigi Dolan.
I don't think Gigi Dolan knows anything about table etiquette. Oh, it's a promo package. Again, we're going to look at two women beat the living shit out of each other in the underground.
Gigi just chugging it.
That's how you do it. Hey, I like that. Girl's got some
bass.
Yeah. As the one with the most bass in the family, let me tell you what.
Okay. I like the way they're using this little BS segment to kind of hype up the show here tonight.
Well, it's one of those things where I expected this before that opening segment, but honestly, with the way that opening segment went a whole different direction, I take this. Combat never solves anything. What sort of stupid nonsense is that? Punch people in the face! I will say I took one etiquette class, and I understand the whole thing of start outward, go inward, but I don't have that type of appetite or that time. I just want to get right into it.
Well, I'm sure Gigi does want that, considering her feud in history with JC.
About to say, do we need to remember the boot to face through the door? Gigi, don't want to pageant queen. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Even with the added effects, I suppose that was all right. Well, that being said, folks, after that unique transition, welcome everybody into NXT. Welcome to week 2 of Spring Breakin. And now in this new era, we're going to find out who steps up towards their way towards making history and maybe becoming a champion. As one person that says marked with destiny defends his gold as we start out with the NXT North American Championship. Oh boy.
Doing good, Mansfield. Thanks for joining us this evening, and thank you for asking.
And yep, good to see you, Josh. Good to see everybody out there in the chat. Renegade, JJ Williams, his NXT Superman of the Simple Brand, voice of JMN for great professional wrestling. No Fox, he'll be all tonight once again. Jumping there at live watch the event as we engage tonight in NXT Spring Breakin. Open Family defends the NXT North American Championship next against Ivar.
You know who I'd like to see Obafemi go up against?
Who?
Willie Mack.
Yeah, that'd be a good big meaty man clash.
Big Hoss fight, former X Division champion, current North American champion.
Yeah, again, previously been involved, of course, your roots also, like you said, involved in TNA, involved in Impact, been across AEW, ROH. Big Willie Mack been getting around and been hanging with the best, the strongest, the lightest. It's one of those things where, again, he's a guy like Obafemi right now that has defined no limits. He's a heavyweight that moves like a cruiserweight. He open weight, basically. So, again, very unique combination here of power and speed that we will see clash for the NXT American Championship shortly. That being said, to echo JJ's incredible opening diatribe on NXT and the importance of them in the WWE draft and how it really should be more focused on them. To all those that got called up, and if you don't know by now, spoiler alert, 3, 2, 1, we, of course, had Kiana James, Lyra, Valkyra, the most emotional one, for being perfectly honest, Dijak, Ilya Dragunov, Carmelo Hayes, and, of course, we had, who am I forgetting? Blair Davenport, the top Ganjin.
And Baron Corbin.
Well, yeah, another resurgence. I almost forgot about that because Baron Corbin's still one of those guys I almost kind of forgot about. So thank you for that. All these great, talented individuals found their way through NXT. A couple of them with resurgence in their career, and the rest literally reached the next chapter for the first time in their career, called up to Raw and SmackDown. Incredible things accomplished by this NXT, by Ava Raine, Shawn Michaels, by Triple H, of course, here in the new era, the professional wrestling era of WWE, the Paul Tracy Beck era. Huge congratulations, all the best to all those incredible men and women. And truly, they were the most important and probably the most valuable and the only realistic, worthwhile WWE draft picks during the entire draft to take in, despite the ones that made history each night. Good for Bianca Belair. Good for them, though. So, again, I'm very happy for all of them. And honestly, that does warm my heart. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. This NXT is far better than what it used to be. It never may truly be my NXT, but you got to go at the times. You got to go along with the journey if you're going to try and see something evolve. And this NXT has proven a lot to me, especially during the draft. So, again, Night 2 definitely picked it up for me. And great, by the way, coverage post, by the way. Folks, you haven't seen it, go check it out here across the JMN Multiverse of Media. So, again, congratulations to all the NXT call-ups. I'm looking very forward to seeing now where they go from here to continue to create history, conquer new atmospheres, environments, and take on new journeys. And either Dragunov versus Luther and Lyra Baccarat versus Becky Lynch. Please, thank you.
I said that last night. I said that you were going to get excited about that. I was like, too bad we didn't have no one on the street because I know those are matches.
When I saw that YouTube highlight of Ilya Dragunov and the absolute intensity of that full-suited man and the absolute happiness and excitement, and then the humble, meek, unaware, pure, unadulterated joy and nature of the entire NXT roster, including the heels. That was enough for me right there, especially with Ilya Dragunov, Blair Davenport, and Lyra Baccarat. That was phenomenal.
I said it last night that the being in that room in the NXT and seeing them all next to each other, that actually felt like what the rooms look like during NFL drafts before they call people and they say that from university of whatever, and the people get excited, and it's like everybody around them, all their family get excited. They made it actually feel like that with the NXT's version of the draft.
Genuine call up, graduation, achievement, whatever you want to call it. Genuine. I truly felt that and embraced that and respect and appreciate that. That was awesome. Not gonna lie. And again, JJ, as we talked about here, the NXT North American Championship online, of course, your women's division will have an NXT Women's North American Championship. And I know that someone said in the comments, maybe Thea Hill could be one of the runners in for that. Speaking of runners in, former NXT Women's Champion, Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler, hello, Big G, coming in alongside Lola Vice now as we prepare for NXT Underground, first ever women's NXT Underground bout. As on the other side, you see the boat, Natalya, alongside fellow Canadian Ice Queens, as what's her name? Raymond talked about, of course. Carmen Petrovic, as we get ready for the first all-women's NXT Underground bout. But in the meantime, it's time to raid and see if we crown a brand new NXT North American champion.
Yes, and congratulations to Eric and Sarah Rowe, Valhalla pregnant with their second child right now.
Yep.
Which is why she has been absent here this last month or so. And Ivar has been running solo. Eric, of course, still out with his injury. And now Sarah pregnant. So congratulations to them.
Yeah, you look at the tail of the tape here, you would think that these men are probably similar in what both may bring to the dance. But again, the difference here is experience. Of course, as you said, Eric and Ivar, Viking Raiders, War Raiders, whatever you want to call them, multiple-time accolade tag team champions, wherever they've been, whether it's New Japan Pro Wrestling or NXT. But Obafemi has proven to us that he can take down the fiercest of foes. Bell reigns are underway. The man marked by destiny, he says, to always be hunted. So much pride on the line by both these two incredible super athletes. It's Obafemi right now, being the aggressive there they're going. I think there's over a 50-pound, when I was looking at the tail of the tape here, a 50-pound weight differential with these two men given away by Obafemi in favor of Ivar. So Obafemi right now is literally, believe it or not, the underdog sort of way.
That's crazy to think about. Jesus, the aerial assaults that Ivar can conduct here at his size. Match, of course, for the North American Championship, as you pointed out. Still haven't found out who's going to be in the tournament to crown the first women's NXT North American champion. You got to figure we might get that information here tonight. That way they can start building on that towards Battleground, Noah.
Possibly. Hook of the leg gets a 1 count. And you got to consider, again, the next time, of course, we cover NXT at the JMN Multiverse of Media, folks, it will be June 9th from the UFC Aplex, of course, in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas. And that will be June 9th, NXT Battleground, right here at JMN Multiverse of Media. Stay tuned for more details on that. Of course, again, Ivar brings so much power and yet still matches his power with speed. Ooh, the backbreaker, though, caught by Obafemi out of the corner. And again, Obafemi, he's a complete unknown, okay? You would think that this guy has been running roughshod in this business, but he hasn't. Literally broke out of the NXT Breakout Tournament this year in January, beat Dragon Lee when he was at his most vulnerable, became the NXT North American Championship, follow-up defeat against Dragon Lee, and then he survived Clash of the Titans against Josh Briggs and Zajic at Stand Deliver, and prior to that, Brooks Jensen.
And he's definitely been on a roll here since he came through the breakout tournament.
Obafemi right now on the outside with Ivar, of course, Tiger just hands me a pinfall submission inside the ring as Obafemi sent shoulder first in the steel ring steps. Referee right now starting his 10 count. Ivar seeing something. Oh, God! Holy! That's one way to break a man.
Jesus, just threw him through the barricade.
Get over, Femi, get in this. Stay tuned. You won't miss a moment of the action. Restaurant quality, picture in picture.
Fuck commercials. I know, Noah. Let's just get it out of the way.
Look, I'm not going to be that same redundant guy. Everyone knows by now what I stand by, and you have come to honor my sentiments, and I appreciate that. So I will no longer say it. It doesn't matter what the show is. I will always be the same way towards television. It's truly as simple as that. Obafemi right now, we're being rocked by Ivar. Both these men just duking it on the outside. Need to be aware of the referee's 10 count as Ivar goes in and breaks it up. Of course, we talk about the NXT North American Championship, and we figure about the people previously that have held this title. And honestly, the NXT North American Championship, it's what you make it become. Whether it's a heavyweight slugfest, whether it's part of your own identity, whether it's about speed and taking on all sorts of challenges. You think about, again, Wesley, the cardiac kid that took on 6 ways, 5 ways, 2 ways, ladder matches. But most of them was just, similar sized men, except with the exception of Dijak. You think about Roderick Strong, who held it for a short period of time, Damian Priest, Bronson Reed, just a few men, of course, held
Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, exactly.
Dominic Mysterio bringing it to the main roster.
Yeah, after losing to Trick Williams and only winning it back after 1 day, there's a 2 count, by the way, by Obafemi. Of course, right now, Obafemi again literally just came out of the breakout tourney. And again, both these men incredibly prideful of their culture too, as Walter talked about, James, I believe, talked about. Of course, Obafemi represents Nigeria, while, of course, Ivar right now, more of an international circumstance with that Norse heritage, of course, in Viking mythology that he always backs up with his persona. Big kick to the midsection by Obafemi here in the uppercut. Of course, we've seen Ivar also in singles expeditions, to your point, hanging against the likes of Ricochet. So we know what Sir Speedy brings. And another vicious backbreaker by Obafemi. And a cover, hug the outside leg, gets a 2 count.
Yeah, Ivar's been milling around the Intercontinental title hunt here as of late. So he's been in there with, like you said, Ricochet, Chad Gable, Sami Zayn, Gunther.
And of course, we saw on Monday Night Raw, Sami Zayn has his own problems to worry about with Chad Gable and Bronson Reed. And I'm curious what backlash might come from that. Obafemi drops the knee, hook of the leg to retain, gets a 2 count again. And again, folks, stay tuned here at JMN Multiverse of Media. We will give you coverage, of course, for WWE Backlash this Saturday from Le Mans, France. Of course, that will be, I believe, noon Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific with our pre-show as they go 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live. So stay tuned for more on that. Should be a very fun exhibition on May 4th, and May the 4th be with all of us. Coming. And right now, you see Obafemi right now. Oh! Good counter by Ivar with the jawbreaker. Obafemi, though, tags him down with a single lariat. But how much did that take out of the champion? Again, you got to figure about how much wear and tear right now Ivar We're trying to see how far Obafemi hangs in deep waters. Again, it's very untested still, very much unknown to the entire WWE universe, but strongly known now, of course, to your NXT Galaxy, JJ.
Yep.
Welcome back, folks. NXT Spring Breakin. We're back here, full live feed. Both men on the corner here again, opening contest for the NXT North American Championship. Obafemi, I believe this is now his 4th defense now of the title since winning it. Defending against Ivar. Big headbutt, though. Great separation. And Ivar going up to the top rope. What the hell is this Viking looking to do here? What? God!
Huge swanton bomb off of the top rope to the outside, taking out Obafemi.
He might as well just drop the boulder on that man from the top of a mountain. Good grief. Any untapped potential Obafemi has yet to prove might have literally just been squashed out of him, if not previously when he was driven through the barricade. Again, use your weight to your advantage. That weight differential right now, Ivar is very much aware of it. We, of course, talk about, though, the championship and how the champion feels like there's a cloak of invincibility, an extra layer of confidence, though. And can Obafemi channel something here to put down Ivar here? Hasn't really been able to put Ivar down, just been able to neutralize some of his strength at times. And both these men squaring out in the middle of the ring. Ivar getting the better of the exchange, left and right. Now the Irish whip. Reversed by Obafemi, though, and Ivar. Up and over.
Nice. Little stumble there from Ivar. Didn't land quite on his feet like he wanted to, but still.
Up the second. And oi!
Jeez.
These
Roaring elbow.
Cover. Kick
Not
out.
quite.
Yeah,
couldn't quite get the big man off that roaring elbow. Take a look again here. Bam!
Yeah, right underneath the jaw. And I think that literally was just one of those moves on instinct. I don't think he got the full effect of it, to your point. The fatigue had to come into play here. Obafemi falling up. Big uppercut in the corner. Now running in again on Ivar, trying to wear down the man that outweighs him. Femi right now relentless with these. Oh, jeez, what a leg lariat.
Jesus.
Is that enough? They're champion.
No. Barely getting that shoulder up, but it's up enough there.
All it's got to do is break contact with the canvas. That's all you have to do before the 3 count to stop the rest decision. Of course, Ivar hasn't had a singles titles accolade in his entire WWE career. Again? No, Obafemi says no. And Obafemi right now, what the hell?
The sheer raw strength from this giant Obafemi. Samoan drop.
Into a cover, 2. No!
Look at this again.
Almost a torture rack position, but to your point, just dropped him with the Samoan drop. A Nigerian drop, I guess, would be more appropriate, though.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Walter. Please follow the Rage of Wrestling, folks. Talk about the strength of Obafemi. How about the endurance of Ivar to take that punishment and still dish out those ridiculous leg lariats? Doesn't matter how powerful you are, though. What matters is what you're willing to take, what you're willing to endure, what you're willing to do to come out the NXT North American champion. Now Ivar going up to the top rope, high wrist
for the moonsault here.
Drops moonsault connects. He got every bit of it. Hook out the nail leg, and Obafemi finds a way for the rope break.
Great ring awareness by this rookie. Soon as that moonsault landed, he rolled close enough to the ropes. Look at this again, Noah.
Oh,
bam.
I think that
and then you see Femi rolling just enough so that when the pinfall was gone for, he was in distance to get his foot on that bottom rope.
Yeah, and I think to your point, that left knee caught up with Femi in the face. So the fact he had that awareness out of that, trying to get back up to his feet, to your point. Oh, God. Seated sets on the run-in by Ivar. Great awareness by the champion, but I almost wonder at this point is the champion on desperation mode. And Ivar again going up to high-risk district. And Obafemi, you've got to be kidding me. No way. This late in the match, no way. Electric chair for Ivar. Drop!
Boom.
And Obafemi right now has breathed new life into this match for himself to preserve his title. The man destined for war. Pop-up power bomb!
That's got to be it.
To retain. Obafemi has done it.
Man, hell of a match here. Obafemi proving that he deserves to be champion, and to Mansfield's point, Ivar proving that he deserves a singles run, with or without the Viking gimmick, and I understand he wants to stay true to his heritage there, so he probably would run with the gimmick, but dude, he deserves to be champion here soon.
Wait a minute, you're talking about champions. Hold on.
Is he back?
No way.
His music's playing. There he is in the stands.
Wesley! The Cardiac Kid is back! The former NXT North American champion! Oh boy. Well, it looks like NXT still wants to walk on the west side of things.
Looks like he's in great shape. You see the way that he jumped there from the barricade to the stairs coming into the ring. Now face to face with the man who never beat him for that title. Wesley had to surrender the North American Championship due to injury.
Exactly. Well,
now we got Thea Hale backstage with the rest of Chase U, Fallon Henley there for moral support. Come on, Noah, throw it up.
No.
Crowd still chanting welcome back for Wesley while we get this segment here.
I found Henry a little bit disappointed after that loss against Jada Parker last week.
Okay, see, now I have some doubts here. I think the way that they're pushing for Fallon to come out here, Fallon may end up turning heel on Thea. Damn it.
Well, I mean, it's not the first time we've seen hardcore country go their own way, and someone that literally lives in the country. A bit of a loose cannon, if you know the former Tessa Price. But that being said, here comes your chance for your university to get a huge accreditation and for your favorite student ever to finally get some vengeance. Time for Thea Hale versus Jessie J as we keep moving forward. You really want me to really try to chase you, but you want me to roll and chase you. You really want that to happen. You want the world to freeze. You want time to stop. You want me to actually embrace Chase University. Is that what I'm hearing in the chat and from you, JJ? Is that what everybody wants?
Did you or did you not want me to believe in Joe Hendry? Was that not your big mission for TNA? You and Attila both.
Yes.
And I swore it was never going to happen. I fought it every step of the way. And what happened at Rebellion?
You finally believed.
So yes, I want it. Walter wants it. Josh wants it. The world wants to see Noah enroll in Chase University and begin majoring in teachable moments from the illustrious Andre Chase.
Well, I don't know if you're going to see that anytime soon. I know, again, we are going to see Sunday, June 9th from the UFC Apex in Las Vegas, Nevada, NXT Battleground Las Vegas, as a battle is about to take underway here as Thea Hale looks to purge something toxic, not only from Chase University, but from NXT. Thea Hale versus Jessie Jane finally comes ahead one-on-one here at Spring Breakin'. And, of course, this all stems from all the way back when Jessie Jane invaded Chase University and looked to turn Thea Hale toxic. But Thea Hale remained true to her own ways. The reigns are underway. And, of course, Jessie Jane says that Thea Hale is going to regret those decisions that she made. Oh, man, the show of disrespect. Oh! Of course, Thea Hale will always stand up for herself. Double leg takedown, though, by Jessie Jane, just teeing off against Thea Hale, former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion, of course, multiple-time NXT Women's Tag Team Champion. Chase University right now, the full on display pep rally for Thea Hale here. Jesse Jane looking to follow up. Baseball slide. Thea Hill able to scout it. Now looking to capitalize. Jesse Jane front off her game. Topic Suicida. The extra motivation on Thea Hill in full display here tonight, JJ.
Absolutely. And Dean, we have a super chat here from Walter. Says, we know Noah does things for super chats. Come on, buddy. Throw up the Chase U symbol.
It's going to take more than that to get that symbol showing up here.
Damn. What's it going to take, Noah? Reasonable. Just for you to throw the symbol up. Don't give me no $200, $500. All they want you to do is throw up the hand gesture. What's it going to take?
25.
So another 20 because 5 was just donated.
Yes, I promise you, I'm a man of my word. I'm a man of the people. I'll at least throw it up for that, just for you, for one night.
There we go. For another $20 super chat, Noah will throw up the Chase U symbol.
Oh, man, what a rolling cannonball in the court by Jesse Jane to Fiacchio. Now Jesse Jane looking to follow up, hooking the leg, gets a 2 count. And to your point, though, we know that Jesse Jane has her own corner person, Jasmine Nix, and really this all really came ahead when Jasmine Nix basically came alongside Jesse Jane, and Thea Hill was almost an afterthought. Thea Hill basically realized at that point that she was being taken advantage of, and basically gave into peer pressure. How typical for a college-age young girl, I'm just saying. Jesse Jane right now, jaw-jacking, chasing the birds at ringside. Duke Hudson, Riley Osborne, of course, Professor Andre Chase, who was the caveat to this whole toxic catapult that happened in the first place after throwing in the towel on Thea Hill.
Yep.
Oof.
He had made dealings with the family.
Cover.
Threw in the towel, cost him the university. Oof. JC, of course, came up with the calendar idea that saved it, and everything has just kind of gone south from there. Yeah, still mad that me and Walter weren't able to get that calendar. Those things, as gimmicked as they were, man, they sold like crazy.
People will spend money on anything. I'm sure eventually it'll be back on WWE Shop or NXT Shop or some shop.com, if not eBay. Nice kick. There's a cover, hook of the leg. 2 count again by Jesse Jane. Of course, Jesse Jane coming off the fall of that previous rivalry with Gigi Dolan, who Gigi Dolan right now endorsed Thea Hill to serve a hot plate of revenge against her former toxic friend. Now the body scissors applied by Jesse Jane, isolating Thea Hill, trying to crush the wind out of her. Thea Hill still finding back, though. Of course, Thea Hill adopted the Kimura lock. Later the offense. Oh, nice cover. Nice modified cover there with the body scissors, still maintaining waist and body control over her opponent. Thea Hill needs to find some way out of this to regain some sort of leverage in this match. Can Chase U wheel her back into this? Is the Chase U spirit stronger than this toxic attraction? Trying to do everything she can to pull away the grip of Jesse Jane. And shoulders down, and forces the break. Oh, back elbow strike. Of course, we saw it stand and deliver. Thea Hill was able to get the win for her team, submitting Izzy Dame, who is not out here tonight at ringside. Neither is Kalani Jordan, but of course, we do see Fallon Henry alongside Chase University. And once again, back to the body scissors. Crushing the core of Thea Hill here is Jesse Jane. Of course, that aggressive nature of Jesse Jane is one of the reasons why she's one of the most accomplished NXT Women's Tag Team Champions in this brand's history.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cover. Kick out again. And we're back here live on Spring Breakin right now. Women's action underway. Thea Hill and Jesse Jane finally coming ahead. Several months in stewing. Thea Hill looking for a shot.
Duck the axe handle there. Big back kick by JC Jane.
Just took her down by the hair, too. Such a cheap but effective tactic. Jesse Jane, big senton run up. I think Thea Hill was able to get her knees up, though. Nice forward flip. Thea Hill feeling it. Now up the bottom. Oh, my gosh. Cutter. I made it with the cutter for 2 counts. I'm not even sure if Thea Hill was even aware enough to kick out of this, JJ. Look at that.
Yeah, jumped back. She looked like she was going for a back elbow or something and got caught in a reverse cutter.
Great resilience, though, by Fiackel being demonstrated here, still maintaining in this fight. And no, make no mistake about it, this is definitely a fight. Uh-oh, Jesse Jane might be looking up. Whoa! For the cannonball again and misses. He's nothing but turnbuckle. Nobody home for her. Fiackel blocking the kick. Oh, God! And a headbutt.
Jesus. Glasgow kiss of sorts.
And nobody wins in that. I don't care who you are. Fiackel literally thinking with her head and using it.
Even the fans don't win in that exchange, Noah.
Eesh. Fiackel right now, though, again, being willed on by Chase University. Trying to keep her spirit strong while Jesse Jane, once again, trying to get back up to her feet. Both these women literally rocked. Big right hand delivered by Jesse Jane. A follow-up by Fiackel, blocking the shot, and Fiackel trying to get the better of this exchange. Jesse Jane right now taken down, and Fiackel building some momentum, JJ. Kick to the knee. Follow up. Nice! Rolling net breaker. That intensity of Fiackel is one of her greatest strengths. What the hell is that? A Michinoku driver? Oh!
Looked like it there.
I thought she was going to go for the Falcon Arrow, but didn't have enough leverage with her height and instead turned to a Michinoku driver, dropping her on her head and shoulders. Nice near fall. Jesse Jane trying to crawl over to her confidant, Jasmine Nix, who again cannot get involved in this match unless she risks disqualification. Up Fiackel looking follow up again, and Jesse Jane able to scout her. The roll through the cover, hook the leg, and a 2 count. Near fall.
We got another $15 towards you throwing up the Chase U from Walter. Someone else got to just throw in another $5, and Noah's going to throw up the Chase U hand sign.
Well, I'm trying to focus on the wrestling here. Found Henry just saved Fia from an attempted cheap shot by Jasmine Nix. Now Fiackel looking to take advantage. And the Kimura locked in! Trying to lock it in. Jesse Jane taken down to the mat. Will she tap out? Will she does? She tap! She tapped!
Nice.
She tapped! Fiackel wins! Well, I'll be damned.
And you got to figure Ava's paying attention to this for potential contendership to Roxanne in that women's championship.
Yeah, but let's take a look on the outside what happened here. To your point, Fallon Henry took the bullet and saved Fiackel from certain destruction. And Fiackel was able to trap Jesse Jane in that Kimura. Right behind the body, middle of the ring. Jesse Jane with no choice but to tap out to Chase University's MVP tonight at NXT Spring Breakin. Tonight, Fiackel has purged this toxic attraction. Congratulations. Big win for Fiackel.
Oh, look, did Andre Chase just bump Fallon Henley there in the celebration?
I'm not sure what's happening here right now at this moment. Hey, wait. Wow, what the
Heel
hell?
turn. What? Fallon Henley just clocked Thea Hale.
Well, what the hell was that for? I mean, she didn't do anything wrong. Well, I guess, again, if you can't get the moment, you take it from somebody else. What's going through Fallon Henley's mind? We saw her. Well, that's a tough.
At least she didn't cost Thea the match.
True.
As here we get another video package for Tyson and Tyreek, who we know will be taking on the OC later on tonight. And Noah.
What?
There's that other $5.
The things I do for free.
We have gotten the full payment here. Throw up that Chase U, brother.
This is never going to happen again, so you better enjoy it for the 2 seconds that it's actually here. Ugh. And also, congratulations, Fia. Great win. All right, that's enough of that. That's never happening again. Anyway. But thank you all for your super chat, and thank you for your support and love here at JMN Multiverse of Media. Tell you this much. The next lane, if you think I'm actually going to get a Chase U shirt and wear it during one of these streams, that'll be the day Fiackel becomes NXT Women's Champion.
Okay, you guys heard it. No one will get a Chase U shirt.
No one got proof of that. No, that's not. No one got proof of that. No one's got proof. No one's gonna remember this. No one's gonna timestamp it.
Here's mouth. Insert foot.
Hold on, Walter. No one's gonna remember that.
No.
James, clip it.
Mm-hmm. You always inserting your foot in your mouth, man.
Damn it!
So Josh says, how much for you to fully enroll in Chase U now?
You don't want to know that number.
I done started something.
Yeah. I'm that optimistic towards Fia Hale reaching the summit. Keyword NXT Women's Champion. Nothing less. So we'll see. But also Fallon Henry. I mean, again, she was part of the Iron Survivor Challenge last year. Goose egg. She is a former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion. Where's her partner, though? Already promoted to Monday Night Raw. Yes, her team got the win at Stand Deliver. Was she involved in the decision? No. And last week, she lost to Jada Parker in less than 5 minutes. So maybe Fallon Henry's starting to see where she stands in the NXT women's ecosystem and needs to make a change for her own sake versus what others may want to dictate. I mean, I can't blame her. I mean, again, if you don't adapt, you'll likely perish. That is evolution. So I'm very curious to see where that goes. But again, congratulations, JJ, to your star female Chase U. She got the win over Jessie Jane.
Yes, she did. I am so stoked for that.
I was right. I thought based on that tease at the beginning, even though we got it at the end, I thought that was going to be cause Thea the match. But I'm glad they did it the way they did it and waited till after.
And we don't know where Fallon Henry stands because she didn't go alongside Jasmine Nix or Jessie Jane. So again, where does this leave Fallon Henry? Where you think about Fallon Henry, Brooks Jensen, and Josh Briggs have all gone their separate ways? Who knows?
And I gotta give it up for Ivar because that match was wow.
Yeah, but how about Wes Lee coming back to JJ's point? Again, champion I named off. Title he never lost. While Oba Femi's been taking on juggernauts, he's now got the cardiac kid in his sights. And it's going to take a whole damn lot more to stop that heart versus those bigger men that Oba Femi's been fighting.
Mm-hmm. Now it's speed versus power when that match ends up happening.
Exactly. All right, well, as we got a full commercial break, again, I hope everybody's enjoying our coverage so far of NXT Spring Breakin Week 2. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Thank you for your super chats, and please let everybody know across the internet, across all the social medias, that we do this for all the biggest shows, all the biggest brands, all the biggest PLEs and pay-per-views across all things professional wrestling. Damn it. And, of course, next time we're with you will be, of course, this weekend. I'm never going to live that down. The things I do for friends. And yes, I'm a man of the people, not just the voice of the network, but a man of the people. So there you go.
The true people's champion. The true voice of the voiceless.
With the title in the corner.
It was worth every penny.
Oh, Lord. My ATW crew is never going to let me live that one down. Yeah. Of course, the coverage, the fun, the shenanigans, all the hilarity, all the events are far from over here as we are nowhere near done after tonight. Of course, tomorrow night we have simply predicting 6 p.m. East Standard Time for WWE Backlash as we go backstage and we see Carmen Petrovic preparing Natalia for, of course, the first ever NXT Underground Women's Contest. And we'll see how far the submission background Natalia can hang against the MMA background of Lola Vice.
I can't wait for that match. You guys know how I feel. Even though it's a wrestling match, you know how I feel about MMA. And the fact
NXT Underground is not necessarily a wrestling match. It's a different format. It's almost a foundation hybrid where you think you're going to get, a presentation of Bloodsport versus, the training sparring session on an underprepared ring. So again, I'm very curious in that take, and I'm sure we'll talk more about that and each competitor and their background later as we go back inside for tag team action with Gallows and Anderson, the Good Brothers, taking on the newest team on the scene at your NXT, JJ. Whoa.
Yes, we just saw the promo for them again before the commercial. Tyson and Tyreek. Tyson DuPont and Tyreek Igwe. I probably pronounced that wrong. Hopefully in time I'll learn the correct pronunciation of that. But
right.
Two rookies here going up against the experienced vets here in Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows.
And of course, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows are former Impact Tag Team Champions, Raw Tag Team Champions, IWGP Tag Team Champions. Heavy.
Both men storied tag team specialists. You figure Luke Gallows was, of course, Festus, teaming with Jesse back in the day. And Carl Anderson goes back to the Real American Heroes, former NWA World Tag Team Champion alongside Joey Ryan.
Not to mention the Machine Gun Carl Anderson, original OG of Bullet Club before tagging alongside Big LG. He was alongside Tama Tonga. He's one of the original 4 of Bullet Club, by the way, too. And right now, of course, to your point, these two athletes are NIL athletes, part of the new Next in Line initiative that WWE's been doing, bringing in future potential WWE superstars into NXT from a collegiate athletic background. So again, a real first test for these two. Whoa, big splash, though. Cover, hook a leg, it's a 2 count. And you figure about, again, what NIL had brought forward so far in your NXT. So many bright new prospects, JJ, including a couple, of course, that we now know are part of the main roster scene that's been down here for a little while. Tiffany Stratton was literally inspired by the likes of freaking Charlotte Flair wrestling to become a WWE superstar. And now she's part of SmackDown.
Yep. Tiffany Stratton, you figure Kaylani Jordan.
Ooh.
You know?
So Ruka.
Yep. All came from that Obafemi.
Kiana James. The body shots right now.
And now these guys, I'm not sure if that's Tyson or Tyreek, but just some huge body blows there to the body of Gallows there.
Yeah, that's unlike Big LG to take body blows like that. Usually he's the one that's dishing out those sledgehammers. I know that for his experience watching this man live in Impact Wrestling when he tagged alongside Kenny Omega in 6-man tag team action. And that's Tyreek, by the way, in the ring to help you right there. So it looks like Tyreek right now is in the clutches of Big LG, Luke Gallows. And of course, we saw the Good Brothers recently come back to NXT, just like the offers appearing to, of course, be challenging for the NXT Tag Team Championships later on night against Axiom and Nathan Frazier. Look at the strength of Tyreek trying to hoist the big man up. Unable to, though. Rose Fruit, tag to Carl Anderson. Tag on both ends now, tag to Tyson. And Tyson,
okay, so Tyson's got the more buzz cut. Tyreek has got the dreads.
Yep.
Good Tyson. Way to help remember that.
Yeah, and Tyson, by the way, for a big man, good agility shown here with that drop kick. And follows up, catching a Carl Anderson. Oh!
Ooh.
That was a unique way for a sidewalk slam. Or backdrop suplex from a lower edge. What an uppercut! Good
huge
God.
European uppercut.
He just cleaned.
And the tip up.
He just cleaned Carl Anderson's clock.
Tag back to Tyreek coming in.
Yeah, LG, though, trying to come in and play defense. Big uppercut got stopped in his tracks. No, hoist it up! Are you kidding me?
Big double choke slam to Gallows. Carl Anderson, the legal man, though.
Oof. And I believe Tyreek's also legal for the other side. We got the 2 legal men in the ring. Good Irish whip there. Front end. Oh, no.
Shoulder first.
And hoisted up and planted with a spine buster on the spine.
That trademark Anderson spine buster there.
Good Brothers right now. Of course, know how to take advantage of the film. Might be looking for that formula for the 1, 2, 3. Hooking him up. Magic Killer connects. And the float over is the cover. 2. Sweet. The Good Brothers win. Good Brothers spoiling the debut of Tyson and Tyreek.
Man, but those two guys have got nothing to be ashamed of. They went in there with some veterans and definitely held their own. Lots of promise for that young upstart tag team here on my NXT.
As we go to the NXT GM, Ava Rain. What?
Ava on the phone with Adam Pearce. Looks like she's got to go to the ring for a huge announcement. Maybe this is going to be the North American title, Noah.
Possibly, but I guess we'll find out next here on NXT Spring Breakin. I got to say, though, Tyson and Tyreek, for 2 complete unknowns, brought from nothing more but an amateur collegiate athletic background, no professional wrestling experience whatsoever prior to that. That's a hell of a way to kickstart what could be the genesis of your wrestling career. So,
yeah, absolutely.
kudos to them.
Definitely impressive.
Very impressive. Well, as we got a commercial break here, let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about what's ahead, of course, in our NXT Women's Underground match. As we know, Lola Vice has already shown disrespect to the belt herself, Natalya. And, of course, Lola Vice comes in with that mixed martial arts background. For those that don't know, she is Valerie Loreda. She, of course, has an MMA background and previously debuted at Bellator 222, ending with a record of 4 wins, 1 loss, 2 via knockout, 2 by decision. I believe she has the fastest hands in the game and is looking to knock Natalya the fuck out.
And her loss was even a very, very, very close decision. It was a split decision loss. It wasn't like she got dominated.
No, but also to your point, it's also one of those things where we know in Bellator and MMA, they fight in rounds. I don't think NXT Underground is going to be anything like that. So I'm very curious to see how she handles this atmosphere where we know Natalya knows how to handle herself on the mat, in the dark, in the dungeon. Don't we, JJ?
Oh, yeah. Made by the dungeon, as Natalya loves to say.
The last graduate.
Okay. I want Natalya to win. Everybody knows my love for Natty Neidhart.
Of course.
Of course.
But I feel like if Natty wins, Lola just gets knocked down like 20 runs. And she is on a huge ascension right now. Whether she becomes Women's North American Champion, whether she challenges Roxanne, at Heatwave or whatever is going to be after Heatwave, I see Lola becoming a big-time player here in the not-so-distant future.
Very fair.
Natalya has no reason to win the NXT title.
No.
Zero. So I feel like if Lola doesn't get the victory here, why are we doing this? Like, Natalya needs to be here to put Lola over. So I'm going with Lola.
Yeah, and again, the pressure's on Lola, especially after surrendering her breakout tourney women's championship opportunity during an active women's championship match. And while she had an incredible showcasing at Vengeance Day, she still put herself at a disadvantage and lost in the end. And now we have Roxanne, of course, our current NXT Women's Champion. Of course, on the other side, we got to consider, again, the 2 people in the foreground that's been helping train these 2. Of course, also known for mixed martial arts, coming out of the NIL program, Karma Petrovic, formerly known as Monika Kurosawa, coming out of Canada. She, of course, has a background in karate. She was a member of the Canadian national team and the provincial karate teams in Ontario and won a gold medal, by the way, in several competitions. So Natalya has that also helping her prepare for what's going to be anything but a Matt Clinic. But if this goes to Matt Clinic, while Natalya is strong in that, I would argue, Walter, that Shayna Baszler is superior in that. Disciplined by the likes of course, Josh Barnett, has a background, of course, in Muay Thai and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. There's a reason why Shayna Baszler is known as the submission specialist, and she reminds Macho Slammers exactly who the fuck she is.
Exactly. It's unique, and give it up to Natalya. Like, been in the company for damn near 20 years, always involved in something unique, something different. First up with females, and Natalya always gets brought up. Like, that just let you know what the company thinks of her. So we got to give it up. But, Lola is my mommy. She's mommy to me. So I'm not going to go against her.
Yeah, I made sure to star that comment for when the match came up so I could throw it up there.
But he said out loud, so I don't think he needs to now. And again, folks, that's still to come tonight here on NXT. As, of course, we look back at the WWE Draft. And again, please check out our post spots regarding each night here at JMN Multiverse of Media. As Ava Rain, of course, helped shape the landscape as we wondered to see who will be called up next to Raw or SmackDown from NXT. Everybody pretty much was on pins and needles wondering, was it their time to sign on the brightest stages of them all in WWE?
Yeah, again, that NXT setup was so great. Like, the whole room and everything. And to see Ilya sitting right next to Trick after that match they just had was just crazy.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like, Mello was the only one that was at SmackDown You know, everybody else was still on the PC. Like, they knew what they were going to do with Melo, and they wanted to have a big moment with him challenging Cody. But like the whole breaking of kayfabe and having faces sit next to heels, again, going back to what I was talking about earlier, it wasn't as much about Kiana James and Ilya Dragunov and Sol Ruka and Blair Davenport. It was the people behind the characters getting to be there and get to be next to each other and showing their love and support for their classmates.
Because they all grew up in this together to achieve the same dream. And to see their friends be able to accomplish that is absolutely heartwarming and humbling. And you saw that on their faces, especially if you were listening real closely. We heard the announcement a couple seconds before they heard their names called. As NXT continues to shape the WWE where the future truly is now. So congratulations again to all the NXT call-ups, and particularly Carmelo Hayes, who made history being part of the first time ever in NXT history, first round draft from NXT.
And then he was in the main event that night going toe-to-toe with the champion, Cody Rhodes. And granted, we knew he wasn't going to beat Cody, but he showed that he deserves to be in that SmackDown main event picture. Logan Paul needs to watch his ass. You may be seeing Carmelo Hayes as your United States champion before SummerSlam.
Yeah, he put one hell of a match with Cody. And even though, like you just said, we knew the result, doesn't mean that they don't have to put it on the performance of the night, because he really put it up there. He made you split second forget that, hey, he may win this match even though you knew.
Well, let's go ahead and hear what Ava Rain's got to say now about the future of NXT regarding the draft. Looks like she's got an announcement. Again, congrats to all the NXT call-ups.
NXT has to keep pushing forward. Can't help but wonder who's going to step up and take their place.
Sunday night.
Huge opportunity at Battleground.
Oh!
We will crown at Battleground the first women's North American champion.
There we go.
A ladder
match to decide the first person.
Oh. Wow.
Okay.
Well, that's quite a way to build, Suffield.
There you go.
You arguably might nearly be there with this tournament. You arguably might nearly be there.
And she called it professional wrestling.
That what?
You didn't hear?
Oh, well, bloody hell.
Jada Parker coming out to interrupt.
I'm going to maintain my composure. Not going to talk about the gimmick, but maintain my composure.
Okay, now what is a combine? That's what I'm not sure about.
I think a combine is like a round robin, like, test of fire, basically, to prove your worth and why you should be part of the qualifiers. Put up or shut up time, wins and losses.
In other sports, combines means like the agility test where they speed. They got to run under a certain amount of miles to see where you're at.
Of course, that snatched the solo Blair Davenport last week in the Beach Brawl.
Who's got one of the best finishers in the damn game.
Yep, that's Soul Snatcher.
Mm-hmm. They're one of the most dangerous ones, though, if she doesn't hit it right. I'm just saying.
That's very true.
Of course, Saruka coming back from injury as well. Very curious what sort of events are going to be in this combine. This doesn't sound like it's going to be wrestling matches, clearly. What? Who? What now?
I hope the Combine doesn't mean they're going to go back to the original NXT where it was all those competitions instead of, remember that?
Oh, God, don't put that out there. Don't put that out there in the ether, Walter.
But that's what a Combine means.
I think this ladder match is too far out of the repertoire of mixed NXT. What? What? Oh, now what? What's happening? Oh,
Mia!
Oh,
nice. Well, her boys are there. Why wouldn't she be there?
Well,
she could add some easy credibility to this North American title.
Former TNA Knockouts champion. And that's someone that knows how to climb a ladder. Let's not forget, she made her name in a ladder match with a busted nose in defeat.
I was just going to say that, yeah, with a busted nose.
And her husband, former men's North American champion. What if Mia Yim becomes the first women's North American champion?
Not too far out of the realm of possibility here.
I'm genuinely shocked here that she came out.
Well, it's not like she's been doing dually squat.
It's true.
Sure, this new era is trying to actually breathe new life into people that you've been hearing about in catering. Oh, good grief, this gimmick. Oh!
Ooh.
Them's is fighting words.
Trying to say that Mia Yim is disqualified, and she just.
And here comes the rest of the locker room. Everyone flying out here. Look at this. Everyone wants this opportunity.
Cara Jackson out there, Kaylani Jordan out there, Lash Legend out there.
Oh my gosh. All the women. Well, again, we'll see who's part of this concubine and actually proves themselves worthy of being part of this ladder match still to come. And speaking of NXT champions, there's former NXT Tag Team champions, the Street Profits.
Yes, sir.
Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, who won those titles, by the way, in a 4-way ladder match. NXT TakeOver 25.
I love this interaction between like main roster people and NXT lately.
Well, I mean, again, it's like literally a passing of the torch, generational arrival. You know, you talk about honoring the past, shaping the future and the present. Even I can respect that. That is NXT. Although the Street Profits never faced the Offers of Pain in NXT.
To Beast.
Montez Ford is such a character. This guy should be a singles champion. But I understand why they're still together as a team.
That right there is why their little heel turn didn't work. And people were like, nah.
They're too lovable, they're too marketable. Not lovable. All the vice and those fierce strikes to that punching bag.
Ouch.
It's going to take more than fast hands to beat Natalya.
Yep.
If Lola Vice only relies on the speed of her fists, then I think Natalya is going to catch her off guard. The underground still to come, but for now, Payne moves forward as we prepare for a grudge bout here with Sean Spears and Rich Hahn. And we'll talk more about this announcement from Maven Rain during our next Wrestling Clyde picture-in-picture commercial break, folks, as the chairman has arrived now at Spring Breakin'.
Well, as Sean Spears makes his way, I do want to give this. I looked up the definition of combine, and I found a definition as it relates to the NFL, and I feel like that's where they're going with this.
Yep.
Because the NFL Combine is a week-long event where college football players perform physical and mental tests for NFL scouts, coaches, and general managers. So what I'm thinking is that next week, the women that they're scouting for this North American ladder match will have to do different tests, maybe like a hazing or a hell week in college type of situations to see if they're mentally and physically prepared. And then once they get to 12 women, they'll have matches to see which 6 are going to qualify for the ladder match based off of what Ava said. I feel like that's where they're going.
Yeah, that makes sense, because you can't do what the NFL actually does, because the NFL is a 40-second dash. It's the jump to see how high your vertical is. It's the hurdles. It's strength. It's so much. I don't. So I think they'll do like a wrestling version of it. It will be.
They could use some of those things. Think about when when NXT was a TV reality show.
Exactly.
They did some of that stuff then.
Yes, they did.
So they could probably implement some of that stuff here. Well, as the bell rings and we're on into ring action here, Shawn Spears versus Ridge Holland. Noah, take it away.
Well, I mean, it's not going to be a combine. This is just going to be mental warfare right now. But I guess sort of it's a combine when you think about Ridge Holland said that he stopped wrestling, and here he is back right now. You see the way that he was looking to take Shawn Spears' head up, and Shawn Spears right now with an evil grin on his face knows that he is preying on the psyche of Northern Grits. Ridge Holland, Shawn Spears, looking it up. NXT Spring Breakin. Don't miss a second of the action. Rest quiet, picture in picture. And to your point, we're in the new era, the Paul Beck era, the professional wrestling era, giving it that more essential sports feel and focus, that level of reserved, qualified competition. And NXT right now is literally testing that both with mental and physical conditioning, it sounds like, for this combine. And with the deepest landscape right now of women's wrestling across the entire landscape, this NXT division, you just saw freaking 16 women right there just go Donnybrook in the ring. And I'm pretty sure that Ridge Holland wants to go Donnybrook on Shawn Spears. So I'm very curious to see what unfolds here, what 12 get a chance to try and qualify, what the 6 will be come June 9th, and who makes history as the first NXT Women's North American Champion. Further details are to come, and I'm sure JJ will keep y'all posted, folks, for the love of wrestling every Wednesday morning, following the day after NXT. Please check it out here. Courtesy Kathleen Studios, Renegade JJ Williams brings you for the love of wrestling the day after the wrestling. Keep you in tune with all the shows every week, especially as NXT. Keep plugging.
Damn it.
Ridge Holland with a rising knee stride, though, rocking Shawn Spears again. We have crossed over, by the way, into the second hour as Ridge Holland sends Shawn Spears up and over to the floor. Still coming out, of course, we saw both our combatants preparing for NXT Underground, first ever women's NXT Underground match. And, of course, we saw our NXT Tag Team Champions getting the hype up they need without the smoke at normal speed ahead of their NXT Tag Team Championship match against the Office of Pain. Still coming out here at NXT Spring Breakin. Nice sidestep, though, by Shawn Spears as Ridge Holland's momentum drives him shoulder first and still ring steps. I think Shawn Spears dropped that knee pad down, just driving his knee into the side of the head of Ridge Holland up against the steel steps. Double impact. You talked about before, JJ, the mental warfare we've seen Shawn Spears put Ridge Holland through, and we don't know truly where Ridge Holland stands, either against or with Shawn Spears in this mental game that he's portrayed about, giving in to your aggression. I don't think it's ruthless aggression, but give in to your barbaric, aggressive nature. Cover. It's a 2 count here. And it's almost like if Shawn Spears wins, does he prove a point? Or if Shawn Spears loses via Ridge Holland, losing focus and losing his emotions, does Shawn Spears still win in the end? Again, it's one of those things I talk about where is there more in winning than just a decision for the chairman particularly?
Yeah, for Shawn Spears, I feel like regardless, it's a win-win, because either he wins and he shows Ridge that he needs to open up, needs to release that anger, needs to give in to the hate, as I made the Star Wars analogies earlier.
Yeah.
Because he was still able to defeat him, because Ridge Holland, for lack of a better word, is kind of pussyfooting around stuff. Or Ridge snaps and does give in, and Shawn Spears is like, good. So either way, it's a win-win for Shawn Spears here. The question is what stays true to Ridge's beliefs and morals?
Again, Ridge Holland, former rugby player, talks about he exemplifies Northern grit, and is Northern grit stronger than the chairman's games?
Back to full screen here.
NXT Spring Breakin right now. Rich Holland trying to take advantage. Back elbow strike to Shawn Spears. Rich Holland, Shawn Spears one-on-one for the second time ever. First time since Rich Holland came back from announced retirement. Nice net breaker, though. The cover by the chairman gets a 2 count. And Shawn Spears right now taking advantage of Rich Holland, using the weakness he exploited off him in his emotions more than anything else. Now going for almost a one-arm accolade here. See the chin lock, trapping the left arm. Of course, we saw Rich Holland wear Shawn Spears out with his own weapon a few weeks ago. In fact, it was that very moment that cost both Shawn Spears and Rich Holland a chance to be part of the last NXT PLE concerning the NXT North American Championship.
Yep.
Front face lock now by Shawn Spears, taking advantage of Rich Holland, who was looking like he was trying to make a comeback. Bringing it back down to the mat. Controlling his opponent. This is Shawn Spears ML, of course, trained veteran of the game, former Ty Dillinger, former Perfect 10. And Rich Holland hoisting up Shawn Spears, trying to force the break. Shawn Spears still maintaining position and control. It's almost like at this point, Shawn Spears just thinks that Rich Holland, accept what you are. You're not a good man. You're a dangerous man. So why not be that? Spears very methodical in his approach, both in the ring and, of course, to his opponent's mental game. Shawn Spears, of course, knows what he truly is and believes that Rich Holland can be something else. Uh-oh. And Shawn Spears might be being sent for the ride as Rich Holland hoisting him up. Military press position. Just walking around with him and dropped him.
Jesus.
Rich Holland looking to follow up here, driving Shawn Spears into the corner. And Rich Holland starting to embrace that Northern grit that got him to the dance in the first place. It's NXT UK. Wow, man, clumsy shot back of the head.
NFL like drive and shoulder thrusts there into the immovable post.
Oh! Catatonic of sorts there by Rich Holland, taking Shawn Spears down. And Rich Holland knows the pressure of being here. Again, this guy was formerly involved in War Games. Big uppercut.
Beautiful
there.
European uppercut.
Tying up Shawn Spears with the ropes. Again, use the midget. But what? You saw that, right?
Yep.
Did anyone else just see a QR code and the word stop?
Yep.
Okay.
Rumors are that's the Uncle Howdy stuff that's going on.
Well, considering we know
teasing the
else,
Wyatt Six.
Yeah, but I'll say we know somebody else all about mental warfare in your NXT. Rolling Duffy driver in the corner. Production crew. Does someone hack us? Get that figured out.
I believe that's the first time I've seen it on NXT, though. I usually only see it on Raw and SmackDown. Maybe that's going to tease the fact that Joe Gacy could be part of the faction.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that is for sure. Redemption earned tonight from Rich Holland, who stayed true to his roots, catching Shawn Spears with a DDT and pinning him for the 3. Take a look. The Rolling Defy driver clumping the chairman in the corner, and the follow-up, bam! That DDT dropped Shawn Spears, lights out, hook up both legs. Rich Holland wins. Is Rich Holland willing to give up who he is to become something else that Shawn Spears believes that he is? Tonight, the answer is no. Roxanne Perez a little bit frustrated with Ava Rain.
Roxanne blames Ava for her not being drafted.
I have to say, chambers were protected. She didn't read the fine print. Okay. Well, Ava Rain. I wonder who's in the office. Meanwhile, Ivar with Josh Briggs. And Josh Briggs rubbing proverbial salt in the wound. Wesley, of course, the former NXT North American champion. Yeah. Ooh, confidence. I think Wesley is about to remind Josh Briggs exactly why he's the guy that beat Dijak. And Ivar may also want a piece of that faction. Meanwhile,
Chase U coming in behind them, but then we go to the final testament.
I do have to say this, though. I kind of feel bad for Fia Hyo, who looks like not only she's hurting physically, she's hurting emotionally, because I'm pretty sure she really regarded Fallon Henry as a friend. But again,
just like she did JC Jane. First she had JC's betrayal, and now she's got Fallon's betrayal.
Well, unfortunately, it's lonely if you want to be, ahead in the game. And meanwhile, the Offers of Pain take on David Frazier and Axiom next. At NXT Spring Breakin, NXT Tag Team Championship match next.
Yeah. That's Sean Spears match. Sean may have lost the battle, but I'm telling you, the war is far from over.
Yeah, I think he's still winning regardless. And to your point, I think that there is still more to come out of this mental warfare. But of course, as I said earlier, as we continue to shape history and see who once again leads forward on their journey, we go to the fight capital of the world next month and the UFC Apex, NXT Battleground Las Vegas. Place your bets Sunday, June 9th. And of course, we'll be coming here to Multiverse of Media.
I'm just waiting for them to say when tickets go on sale so I can see how much it's going to be.
I swear, JJ.
If there's somehow, some way that I can make it happen, I am going to make it happen.
You need to. With all due respect, you should. You deserve to. That's the word I'm looking for. You deserve to.
I appreciate that. Like I said, if there's any way I can make it happen, then I will do everything in my power to make it happen. If not, then the next time for sure.
All right, fair enough.
I'll do what I can to help you too.
Yeah, always reliable.
You definitely
always
deserve
respectable.
it.
Appreciate it.
You do deserve it.
Well, guys, with the NXT Tag Team Championship matchup next, I believe that means that NXT Underground will be our main event.
As it should be.
I was going to say that's what it should be.
I mean, at the end of the day, you figure you've got to completely strip the ropes in order to do it. So that should be the last thing that you do is strip the ropes and have the final match.
Make it easy on the ring crew at the end of the night.
That's true, by the way, to be fair. Build that underground atmosphere under the dim lights. Very curious to see again, not in the octagon, but who thrives on the mat. And of course, we saw the preparations of both our competitors. Of course, still to come tonight, we talked about Shayna Baszler, also formerly involved in Raw Underground in a bygone era, which we don't talk about a lot. But again, previous experience, and again, mat-based magician, stopped Masha Slamovich into submission at GCW Bloodsport. Disciplined by the likes of Josh Barnett. So again, Shayna Baszler might be literally the ace needed for Lola Vice to knock Natalia's lights out.
And you can see the watch along in the archives of Bloodsport with me and James covering that.
You both did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Well, that being said, folks, we're on a full commercial break. So again, allow me to take the opportunity to thank you for tuning in. We appreciate all your engagement, your reactions, your thoughts, your comments, your takes, and the super chats, even at my expense. So, hope you all enjoying the ride as always. Shut it, you two, shut it. Please like, comment, tell a friend. Again, we do this for all the biggest shows. Of course, we have so much more coming up this week. We still have, of course, Simply Predicting tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with WWE Backlash. Then Simply Predicting will be back, of course, Thursday night, 11 p.m. Standard Time with potentially the Fill Up. as we cover TNA Under Siege. And of course, there'll be live watching events in JMN Multiverse of Media. Both of those events, Friday, of course, being Under Siege, and Saturday afternoon will be WWE Backlash. And of course, we end the week as always with the weekly Saturday night shenanigans that are Open Mic Night, hosted by the Renegade himself, JJ Williams, bringing you another Open Game Night with Star Wars Jeopardy! So stay tuned for more on that here and so much more at JMN Multiverse of Media, friends, constituents, and partners. All right. As we get ready for what's ahead, also coming up, of course, on the hashtag We Gonna Die schedule. As we know, guys, we have SummerSlam, of course, made official. We also have Clash of the Castle made official from Scotland. It will be Saturday, June 15th. Time to be determined. So again, folks, if you want to be part of the ride, keep following us along here at JMN Multiverse Media. What's this?
Yeah. What is this?
Oh, Tony D'Angelo family.
The D'Angelo family. Looks like the full-blooded Italians are going to be on the countdown to Under Siege, and we've got a nice little vignette from the family.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't even know what to say regarding that.
Hey, just the fact that little Guido is still getting booked in 2024 freaking makes my day, Noah.
I still can't believe that's a thing. I'm just going to say that right now. I can't believe that's a thing, but it is
Right?
a thing, and it's weird. Freaking little Guido. He's about as full-blooded Italian as it gets.
Way back in ECW days and still active today.
Right? Allowing the mind of Tony D'Angelo family. Of course, we saw him won last week in six-man tag team action, and Tony D'Angelo now has his prize on the Heritage Cup. As we look towards a different prize, we will see if the Final Testament starts a new book of pain as the offers look to add the NXT Tag Team Championships to this revelation.
Look how big these dudes are. You see how much of the entrance way they took just walking out?
Are jacked, and they are nobody to take lightly, despite their current booking. In a previous era of NXT, you know, Walter, how dominant and dangerous they were alongside Ring as NXT Tag Team Champions. Hell, they run the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic on their way to becoming NXT Tag Team Champions.
Sure.
Well, now that they've been drafted to the red brand, I'm hoping to see some Judgment Day versus Final Testament action.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got the LWO over there now, kind of reminiscent of the old school Raw Gain Warfare with the Disciples of the Apocalypse, Los Boricuas, Degeneration X, and the Nation of Domination.
Yeah. WWE should become the battleground of faction warfare on all three brands.
By default, does the Judgment Day get cheered if they fight Final Testament?
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Well, I do know this.
I think the thing with Final Testament is that people are just waiting for them to get booked right. Because we know the potential of Cross specifically.
Well, Cross,
and he just hasn't lived up to his potential on the main roster.
No, he hasn't. Cross has not been booked right since his run as NXT champion, where he cleared the field against the likes of Pete Dunne and Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, just to name a few.
So now that they're moved over to the red brand, so they're getting a fresh start.
Whoa!
In this Paul Levesque era, hopefully we can get some things turned around for them as the action is underway here, Noah.
Not a fresh start, but a fast start by Axiom and Nathan Frazier, who, of course, beat the Wolf Dogs just a couple weeks ago before the Office of Pain returned to NXT and basically foretold what they were riding. And, of course, they know that they are outnumbered right now and are outpowered, but the speed game might be their number one ace in the hole. And right now, trying to take advantage of the Office of Pain, these two men still not off their feet. Just trying to drive them to the barricade.
Thank you.
Long range Tope Suicida's here right now. And the fast start by the champions offers the Pain a bit thrown off their game. Referee's got to regain some control here.
Looks like we're clearing Axiom out. Nathan Frazier's going to stay in. Bell rings.
And he just got dropped with a freaking clothesline as he ran into it. Just thrown away.
And which one of the Authors of Pain is that? Because I can't tell them apart either right now.
That was Akam.
Yeah, or as I call him, Toka. If you know, you know, folks. Ninja Turtles 2, Toka and Razor.
Yeah, dude, even when I was once a wee lad, even I know that, all right? Even if TMNT has been rebooted more times than it should be. Again, tried to friggin' blow an IP into oblivion. What else is new for the world of cinema? Anyway, it's not often, though, that you see a team like this, though, opposition to the champions. Whoa, God!
Chucking Nathan Frazier across the ring there.
Like a bad habit. And again, this is what they needed to neutralize. They did not need the Offers of Pain power to come into play. Again, the Offers of Pain are all about one thing: physical, violent, bodily harm. And of course, the mastermind that has led multiple tag team champions of the past, Paul Ellering at ringside. God bless you. Tag. It's almost one of those things where if we saw them try to tag when they were going with the tope suicidas, try to take both these men off of their feet, and they were unable to do that. So at this point, what do you do to try and cover? Look at the leg, 2 count. At this point, Jada, what do you do to try and neutralize one of these two behemoths?
You got to try and chop the big tree down. That's the age-old advice for anybody that's bigger than you. Go for the legs, try to bring them down to your size. But as long as they've got the upper hand, as long as they got the advantage there, it's going to be tough.
Well, I mean, of course, calling the calls at ringside, of course. The Offers of Pain, who, of course, shared rivalries with the likes of DIY, The Revival, and, of course, Sanity. Big knee in the midsection there. Nathan Frazier right now. Waist lock, trying to prevent the toss. Oh, no. Golly. This has been nothing but a one-sided affair since the bell rang. Can the champions get back into this? Stay tuned. Let's call you picture in picture if Nathan Frazier is still alive and breathing. Golly. That boy got folded up like an accordion on that. Bounced off the mat. Recoiled.
Ouch.
I'm going to let you guys do the picture in picture. I just had something brought to me to eat, so I'm going to take myself off camera real quick.
Yeah, that sounds good. Again, Walter, you and I grew up, of course, in the black and gold, so we know what these two are capable of when booked correctly. I mean, you could talk about all day how bad these guys were as NXT champions until they faced the force arguably more violent than them. Oh, Nathan Frazier lands to his feet off that suplex exchange. Falls in, single leg kick by Frazier. Now looking for the tag, escapes. Tag to Axiom, A-Kid, of course, former Heritage Cup winner.
Hot tag, double team.
Good combination here. Again, speed, the advantage to the champions. Here, of course, we saw the Street Profits trying with them. Oh, my God.
Oof. One right hand stopped all that momentum.
Anti-air raid. Smash. Interception.
Oh, man.
That always works, right? Fist to face.
Yeah.
And now Offers of Pain with a little double team action here with the stop sidewalk slam. And now covered, become new tattoo champions in a 2 count.
Big men going to the top rope always scares me after what happened with Sid Vicious, man.
I don't think we've had a Sid Vicious instance like that for years, but doesn't mean history can't repeat itself. And again, Offers of Pain looking to recreate history in this next book of Pain, becoming 2-time NXT Tag Team Champions. Axiom, though, trying to fight back. Jets gets taken down with an axe handle of sorts.
Every move just hits so hard with the size difference, man. A simple chop would just throw this guy Axiom halfway across the ring.
I mean, it's Big Man MO 101. Work, do more with less. I mean, again, they know that they are the dominant opposition here. It all freaking Tales of the Tape, fastest in stats, except for speed, practically. They outweigh them, they outmuscle them, and they outexperience them.
Yeah, speed is the only category that Axiom and Nathan have on them. And that ain't working.
Yeah. Well, we know Axiom and Nathan Frazier, they were born out of respect, why Offers of Pain have been a tag team pretty much since the get-go, since being underneath the learning tree of Paul Ellering. A violent learning tree, by the way. Again, we can talk about Paul Ellering, the most historic mind here at ringside. Let's not forget what sort of teams this guy has managed.
And the problem is Nathan and Axiom, not only do they have to deal with the Authors of Pain, they have to deal with the outside You got Scarlett out there. You got Karrion Kross out there. You got Paul out there. It's not just offensive pain they have to worry about.
Yeah, but I do think that Axiom and David Frazier have pride for this NXT and feel like that right now they're being invaded. So why they have nobody at ringside, preferably I would say the NXT, oh jeez, tag team locker room is probably behind them. Tag.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's enough motivation, though, to survive the Offers of Pain.
What a
but also Champion's advantage, of course. They can win only via pinfall or submission for the titles to change hands. Big G, good to see you. Again, a huge proponent also of the Black and Gold NXT and the Black and Red NXT, our NXT, as we are back here live at Spring Breakin. NXT Tag Team Championships on the line. David Frazier and Axiom versus the Offers of Pain. Axiom in desperate need of attack right now, JJ.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been getting just dominated by the AOP throughout the good chunk of this match. It was Nathan Frazier, now Axiom in there. Ooh, ducks the big boot, though.
Akon, though, made the tag, though. Great awareness. And that's a way to hyperextend a leg by Razor. Up and over, and Axiom again. Tag to David Frazier. David Frazier now the fresher of the two. Now trying to regain control of this match. And taking over. Able to escape. Keep the pace quick. Keep the pace in your favor. Falls up. Springboard. Axe handle. Axe handle to the partner right now. Offers of Pain neutralized for the time being. In the champion's corner. David Frazier teeing off though. Oh, trying to look for a DDT! Not all of it. Not enough of it. And their fall,
Nathan Frazier's woman was successful earlier tonight against JC Jane. Looking to have some of that same success here, Noah.
Yeah, but he got caught. He got caught. But Axiom, though, watch your screen. Just like that. The final testament regains control. Oh, boy. Human bodies as weapons to their advantage. What the hell is this? Oh, God. That might be the knockout shot needed. No. Impressive. I thought that we had new tag champions there for a moment, JJ. That knee strike looked like a KO shot.
Yeah, it did.
And right now, that 6 and 8 cents might be kicking in for the champions here, preserving their title reign. Able to kick out. What's going on here, though?
Looks like setting up for a side rush. And no, Axiom dropping the rope down.
Ooh. That's good. Maybe they do got a fighting chance here right now. Isolating one half of the Offers of Pain in their corner. And now looking for leverage. Perching him on, I believe that's the top rope. Takes 2 men, though, to hoist up one, though. That still has to take a lot out of you. Axiom right now tying up, I believe that's Razor. What the hell is Axiom looking for here? No way. Dr. Karrion Kross trying the official, though, and Scarlett Bordeaux. Oh, wait a minute. Busted!
Ejected. Cross, Paul Ellering, and Scarlett have all been ejected from the ringside area thanks to Scarlett's interference.
Caught red-handed. Again, referee made the right call here. Offers of Pain, though, got to know that they are in control here. They need to focus. And wait a minute! Newcastle Republic, what the hell just happened? The roll up by Axiom. What? They did it. What the hell just happened?
Turnabout is fair play. Couple more NXT alumni coming back to help in Axiom and Nathan Frazier retain their titles.
But what does Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate have to do with any of this?
Who cares?
I mean, the official not focused on the chaos happening behind him. Double team effort by Newcastle Republic, and the schoolboy by Axiom allows Axiom and David Frazier to retain.
What do they have to do with this, Noah? Newcastle Republic and the Final Testament are now all on Raw. Maybe we're starting a feud here.
Now, speaking of feuds, I think Thea Hale's about to start a feud that she was not prepared for.
Thea Hale wondering why people keep doing this to her.
Well, bad people take advantage of good people. Rich Holland actually checking on Thea Hale. I feel like the professor is going to serve as an example towards Sean Spears, what he's been trying to do. To go outside. Oh, Lord. Ugh, get these guys off my screen. Anyway.
Okay, so whatever is in that envelope will be revealed next week on the Supernova Sessions.
Oh, hold that thought. Here's something more important. Maybe try to get Von Henry. Von Henry saying it's time for me to put myself first. Interesting.
That's
like I
fair.
said. Like
That's
I said.
Fair.
Sometimes you need to, take that chance on yourself to get ahead. As we get ready now for our main event here, gentlemen and ladies, if you are watching this here in the chat, whether live or on demand, we get ready here for our main event of Spring Breakin Week 2. As you see, Lola Vice being escorted by Shayna Baszler as we get ready to go underground in NXT. First ever NXT Women's Underground match. Natalya with Carmen Petrovic in her corner takes on Lola Vice with Shayna Baszler in her corner. It's the Queen of Hearts versus Latino Heat. Next on NXT.
I believe this is not just the first in NXT, but the first in WWE history, period, for the women.
I believe you're correct.
Can we just give it up for women's wrestling, man? The first underground. Now they got the ladder match to get the new champion down in NXT. This is the revolution or evolution that Stephanie was talking about years ago. It took several years to get here, but this is what they were talking about.
Yep.
Very fair analysis. I love that, Walter, as an advocate of women's wrestling. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. This is arguably the greatest era in the industry we are living in, with the potential and the aspect of professional wrestling, especially women's professional wrestling. So, again, guys, we've been kind of talking about all night, a little bit of the backgrounds of each competitor, the story that are being brought forward with the boat versus the, newcomer on the scene, looking to build a name for herself after falling short in her opportunity in the breakout tourney cash-in at Vengeance Day. So, at this point, JJ, do you have anything further you want to add regarding this whole entire thing, this NXT Underground match? I mean, anything further to add, man?
I just got 3 words. Let's fucking go.
Fair enough.
This match is as good as it can be, we could see another one down the road. There's plenty of rivalries that could go to an underground match.
Yeah.
Underground match could become like the new Steel Cage or Hell in a Cell. It can be the final battleground for a feud.
Yeah.
But if this ends up sucking donkey balls, then this could be the only one we ever see in history.
So ride or die for all 4 women involved. And again, 3 of the women have that MMA background in play. So they're bringing that background to showcase. But on the other side of that, the one factor here has the professional wrestling submission technique, excellent execution background to bring forward. And that might be the difference maker at the end of the day. We talked about it before. Lola Vice talks about she has some of the fastest fits in the game. Lightning fast punches. She is a striker, focuses on striking. Natalya, she is more of a grappler, a tackler. She is technically founded. But Carmen Petrovic, background in karate, probably taught Natalya a thing or two. And I think Shayna was even admonishing Lola Vice that if you're going to take down Natalya, you got to focus on doing more than trying just to knock her out. You need to take the wind out of her. You need to try and subdue her, Wins can be found on the mat or in knockout. And I'm sure Underground's going to apply under both those facets. I'm very curious to find out what the rule set's going to be for this too, because in an Underground contest, you got to imagine there's not going to be a pinfall. It has to be via tap out or submission.
I figured that's what it would be. And then, I mean, you figure in real MMA and in combat sports, the answer to karate is wrestling. So you got that dynamic. If she can wrestle, hold onto a limb, do some jiu-jitsu, but the problem is my mommy's also profound in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So that's the issue there. So no matter what you go, someone's an expert in it. So it'll be interesting to see. But that's the assumption, is that somebody's got to tap to lose this match.
Or get not the F out. I mean, we've seen fight pits. We've seen pit fights in NXT, in WWE, in TNA. If you watch Speedball Mike Bailey versus Kenny King. I mean, at this point, with the fact we're going to the fight capital of the world, I can't stress that enough. Next month, June 9th, UFC Apex Center. You got to consider if this isn't sold here, they're going to sell it inside the Octagon.
I'm so happy for the Apex that they did. We saw something like this coming as soon as the TKO and everything was coming up. We were saying there's got to be some kind of union or something, whether it's an arena or some UFC crossover, but we knew something like this would come up.
Well, you talked about the beauty of women's wrestling right now and the variety on the landscape. Let's talk about, again, what's to come later on ahead, because we're going to see if dreams come true or if nightmares continue to follow. Undisputed WWE Championship will be on the line as Cody Rhodes goes one-on-one for the first time ever against phenomenal AJ Styles at Backlash. Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from Liège, France. And what is a must-win for the American Nightmare? What the heck's this?
Idris Enofe and Malik Blade.
Okay.
Remember last week in the tag team locker room, the mirror fell and broke?
Superstition.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't the mirror break?
Yeah, they're the ones that broke it.
Bad luck coming.
Brindley Reese has been their cheerleader.
If you believe in that.
Black Cats.
All superstitions.
Yep, they're playing into the superstition angle.
Oh, good Lord. So who's going to step on a crack and break the mama's back?
No, what we need is for Brindley Reese to qualify for Battleground and to walk under the ladder.
That.
A la Razor Ramon, WrestleMania 10.
Hey, but Razor Ramon won the title in that match, so.
I suppose. Well, again, if you all believe in superstition, I believe in actual circumstance, not just sheer coincidence. So we'll see what happens.
You know what's funny? The biggest superstition.
Yeah, go ahead and talk about your NXT next week, real quick, before we get to our main event. Hold that thought, Walter.
Looks like we're going to have Josh Briggs versus Wes Lee, possible contention here for the North American Championship. Good to see Wes Lee back tonight. Supernova Sessions with special guest, our champion Trick Williams. And Lash Legend is supposed to reveal what is in that envelope.
What can it be?
North American Championship will be decided in a ladder match at Battleground. Next week, the NXT Women's Combine.
To your point.
Look, they're showing like a performance center. They're showing them do the heavy ropes and everything. So it very well could be more like the NFL Combine. And now we've got people surrounding the ring for our NXT Underground match. No counts, no pinfalls. Only way to win is via knockout, TKO, or submission.
There we go.
So, Walter, before we get underway here, I got to ask you, what do you think is the best approach for Lola Vice to tackle here? We know that Natalya has a submission background. Do you think she goes for the straight knockout or try for a TKO?
You try for the TKO. You don't want to scuffle on the ground for somebody that has 20 years experience in the WWE and all this wrestling. A survivor of the dungeon. That's the dangerous dungeon to me. You talk about somebody that dangerous that's coming from the Canadian background and that. You don't want to tussle with somebody who knows what they're doing on the ground and get caught in any kind of submission. So she might want to try to break it down, attack the legs, attack the body, and then go for a TKO.
Of course, we know, JJ, that Lola Vice comes in there with that lightning fast striking background, and all it might take is one great right hand to be over just like that.
We've seen it how many times in a legit UFC fight, Walter? Just that one right or that one left just rocks them and they collapse like a sack of potatoes onto the mat.
Exactly. Or it's the big cliche that Tyson says, everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth.
For real.
Where's Marinello for
Natalia, flanked by Carmen Petrovic for her. Going straight eye to eye with Lola Vice, not even giving a moment.
Let's get ready for introductions, folks. Alicia, take it away.
Oh, we got the drop down mics just like at the Garden. Nice.
All right, this is brilliant.
It is.
I actually wouldn't mind actually seeing one of these live. This actually looks pretty damn cool.
I've got your back on that one, Emmanuel. As much as I love Natty, Lola needs this victory.
Yeah,
Queen of Spades in the corner of Lola Vice.
We're talking about Shayna Baszler's MMA record. Sheesh.
And the fact that Shayna had that experience in the other kind of match she just was, you mentioned where she stomped her out. This is pretty much the same thing as Bloodsport. So it was smart of Lola to have Shayna helping her.
Yeah, but it's also smart that Natalia got somebody with a karate background helping her. So maybe it's not just the mat game she could capitalize on. We'll see how quick those kicks are for Natalia versus those fists of Lola Vice. NXT Underground match. Main event here tonight. NXT Spring Breakin. Bell rings were underway. I really do think
going for the touch of the gloves, traditional start off there.
I really do
think really going after with those kicks.
Whoa! God,
there's the grappling. There's the grappling already.
Steering them off the freaking apron onto the ground there.
Well, again, let's also talk about the atmosphere in case people don't know. There are no ropes. It is nothing but a mat and spectators. That brings it. Oh, and a lightning fast right just caught Natalia in the midsection.
And with no ropes, that means there's at least a 4-foot drop from the apron to the ground.
Exactly. Good takeover by Natalia, though, trying to grapple Lola Vice down the mat, shoulders down. But again, pinfalls don't matter here. Trying to isolate the left arm. You see Lola Vice with the wrist lock, though.
You almost got to wonder if the fact that Lola Vice wasn't concentrating on submissions and ground technique, if that's going to play to Natalia's advantage. Is Lola relying too much on having the fastest hands?
And again, I think Shayna Baszler was admonishing her earlier during their sparring session. To your point, we saw Lola Vice teeing off against that punching bag. But Shayna Baszler, she's the submission specialist. She knows how to take down an opponent. Speaking of a takedown, nice takedown there by Natalia. And mounting Lola Vice, just teeing off against her. And you see Lola Vice covering up.
But now she's in an open guard. Now she's got to pass the guard. There she goes. Natalia passes the guard.
That's why I left you on for this one. You know the MMA lingo, Walter.
Yeah, on paper, this looks like Lola Vice is straight, but Natalia right now taking advantage of Lola. To your point, looks like she might have a heel hook or a toe hold. Modified ankle locker shorts. Lola Vice, though, able to roll through, try to work the pressure. And again, Natalia leaves her core exposed, and Lola Vice takes advantage of a vicious stomp.
Ouch.
Axe kick. Another vicious axe kick by Lola Vice. Again, Lola Vice's record, of course, stands, of course. I believe she had 5 matches, and right now, maybe she's looking for the kidneys here.
4-1.
Yeah, 4-1. And you talked about that one being very close. It was by literal decision that she lost that one.
Yeah, it wasn't unanimous. It was a split decision.
I don't think we're going to have a split decision here. Again, we talked about how this ends. TKO, KO, or submission as Natalia is sent off into the spectators at ringside.
And that's why they're out there to catch people to fall. So it's smart to have a crowd out there.
Lola Vice taking advantage in this fight. You won't miss a second of the action, though. Restaurant quality, picture in picture.
Lola seems like she's favoring her left knee.
Well, again, you saw Natalya working over the left leg earlier. And again, what's damage done? We know how dangerous a submission hold is, even for just a few seconds.
Ooh, brutal pop to the chest there. Yeah, Natty's been targeting that left leg, and you saw Lola targeting the small of Natty's back, trying to weaken that there with those axe kicks and everything just a few moments ago.
You figure that if Natalya has a compromised back, she has a compromised hold on the sharpshooter. She can't fully apply as much pressure as she wants to it.
Of course.
So Lola Vice is
and to that point, despite Lola's leg, could you imagine if she tries to throw Natty into a sharpshooter, beat her with her own game after already weakening that small of the back?
And that's really how this came ahead, JJ. We saw Lola Vice made this personal, insulting Natalya, using her own sharpshooter against her corner person, Carmen Petrovic. This really all comes off the fact that Lola Vice couldn't beat Carmen Petrovic one-on-one. So what did she do? She got furious. She wanted an open challenge. Who answered it? Natalya. And Natalya beat her. She ate 2 losses in the same night back-to-back, and she hasn't lived it down 6.
Lola going for a nice armbar. She took her down, jumped right to the side, went right for the armbar. Perfect transition.
Again, but Natalya, I think, has been in this hold at least a number of times before. And again, when you're talking about a graduate of the heart dungeon, you know how to escape pretty much any grapple.
And what's beautiful is without any pins, you don't have to worry about your shoulders being on the mat. So Natalya can try to do all that reversing that she's doing and pinning. Like in a normal match, that would have been a pinning combination that would have forced Lola to let go. But in this kind of match, you don't have to let go.
Yeah, Natalya just literally doing everything she can, teeing off against Lola Vice, back of the head and neck, just wailing away. And another shot to the core, finally creating separation. Natalya back up to her feet, Lola Vice down to one knee. Neither of these women right now look anywhere near to a knockout.
Suplex there by Natty.
A traditional wrestling move. I didn't think you'd see that in this.
Again, this is not the UFC. This is not MMA. And technically, this is not even professional wrestling. This is the underground, where you mix all arts for a win. And again, I thought Natalya for a moment was going to go for the pinfall and instead might be transitioning for a possible submission.
Kimura, it looks like.
And we're back here.
Screen action.
About time now. I can actually see what's going on here. Lola Vice able to reverse it again. Good shot taken again where Natalya exposed their core. Now both of them on the outside.
Was that to the rib there, Noah?
That was to the ribs. That Sobot kick. Front face lock and snap German on the floor by Natalya Lola Vice.
Ouch.
Following up with a PK kick to the back, lining up the spine. You see the face and chin of Bears with concern for her corner woman. Natalya right now, front face lock. Another snap German, once again wearing down that back of Lola Vice.
Natalya
old school as it gets.
Yeah. I wonder if Natalya must feel like she's back in the dungeon right now. She must be so happy to have these kind of matches.
And right
yeah,
now,
definitely.
Oh, no!
Ouch.
Took out the legs, and Natalya falls back first across that boogie board of sorts on the announce table. Not perfectly flat, by the way, either, might I add.
Sweep the leg, just like the Karate Kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you see Natalya right now gasping for air, but again, the double leg, and Natalya again teeing up against Lola Vice. Lola trying to cover up, though.
Natalya with her version of ground and pound.
Jesus.
Oh, right. Ouch.
And I think her ribs just hit that ring post off that roll-off.
Yeah, and then there's like, if you look at the pole, the piece where the turnbuckle should be sticks out. She might have hit that bottom part of it.
Yeah, to your point, you see that the corner bits that covered up a little bit, though, are still there on those ring posts, just as damaging. Lola Vice right now with wrist control, grasping the left wrist of Natalya. Just teeing off against Natalya with these kicks. Going for a cravat. Working the neck now.
Crowd rallying behind Natalya here, chanting Natty, Natty.
Well, again, locker room leader for generations, best of all time, standard bearer of all time. Guinness World Record
nice
breaker.
Kicks.
And right now going for a triangle.
Triangle.
Looking for a submission here. And look at the way Vice has her hands up.
She needs to
grabbing the left arm and right now teeing off the point of her right elbow on the crown of Natalya's head. She has a Bryan Danielson.
Ouch.
Yep, going right for the temple there.
Natalya, though, trying to create separation, just throwing shots that she can with her free right arm and right hand.
Right to the ribs, Nat.
Again, right now, both of these women are literally attacking each other's ribs. Natalya, though, with the dominant position, keying off against Lola, who again is covering up.
Yep, she already broke Lola's grip here.
Now trying to break Lola's guard. Now Lola, though, going for a front face lock.
Mm-hmm.
Potential guillotine.
Yep.
Squeezing the life out of Natalya.
She needs to be more under the chin to get the real guillotine. Her arms are too high up.
Yeah, she doesn't have the full lock in there to your point. Again, might need to adjust position, but if nothing else, she's wearing down Natalya. Natalya, though, getting back up to her feet. Finding fruit, taking Lola down. Lola immediately capitalizing, though. Now trapping her once again. And that guillotine's in deep.
That is a deep guillotine. And that was a nice slam by Natalya to try to get her to the ground. We've seen in UFC actual ground knockouts, people throwing people to the ground just to avoid a submission and actually getting someone to get knocked out. Ouch! Similar to what she just did.
Different versus the octagon and cage, Walter. She was able to find her way to the floor and use the leverage of the level of the apron to her advantage and plant Lola on the floor to force the break.
That was just raw strength and power there by Natty.
And veteran experience. She knew where to go.
Exactly. And again, a lot easier to leave the ring when there's no ropes.
Exactly.
And now Natalya trapping the left leg. Oh,
is it going to be shades to her uncle? Shout out to
her
uncle.
Yeah, you know she's going to do it.
And Lola right now is in a world of trouble as the show boy. And she's going to hold on to this as long as she wants. Figure four leg lock around the steel ring post, man or woman. That has to suck.
Oh, what's going on here?
Shayna Baszler looked like she was trying to get a little bit too close, so Carmen Petrovich came in to get the distance there, not let Shayna get involved.
But again, there's no disqualification, so technically speaking, that's perfectly legal.
But Carmen did a disservice to Natalya because she caused her to break that hold. She bumped into her by accident.
But Natalya is still in the dominant position, guys, and she finally might be looking to cross those legs over, step over the sharpshooter. But Shayna Baszler, though, no rules. Again, there's no rules here. And Shannon again to the outside. They blow the vice, though. Whoa! Look for Buenos noches. Natalya able to scout the kick. Once again.
Going to step through. He's got it locked in. Turning her over.
And it's
sharpshooter.
Sharpshooter, middle of the ring. No escape.
Ow. And she's got it deep. She's sitting down and everything.
She is screaming. She is pulling for somebody. She is pulling for her escape.
It's everybody's backing up so that she can't grab her. Natalya sitting, pulls her forward, and then sits right back down on the small of her back.
But again, was the damage done earlier to Natalya's back to Lola Vice's advantage? Lola right now holding out in the sharpshooter, and it's in deep. And again, you see Natalya trying to ground her basement further. And meanwhile, Shayna Baszler got Carmen Petrovic trapped in the coquina clutch. Or Canfoo's clutch, excuse me. Natalya's got to make a decision here.
That's the problem.
Natalya going to the aid of her friend. And now Shayna and Natalya squaring off on the outside. And remember, these two are former tag team partners.
Not for much longer. Got a long bit of rivalry here. We're going to start building up, I think.
Natalya definitely had this one.
Oh, my God!
Ouch!
That's spinning
and that's going to do it right there.
And the referee
spinning back
the separation. Fist. That's it. This is over. This is over. It is all over. Just like that. The knockout.
Spinning back fist. Pretty much the elbows were unnecessary. Natalya was already out.
Lightning fast KO shot by Lola Vice. Buenas noches, Natalya.
Give the assist to Shayna Baszler for distracting, making Natalya make that choice. Took her eyes off the prize to go out there and assault her former friend, former tag partner. And as soon as she got back in the ring, whap.
Wow.
And it was over.
Lethal.
And the official had to know that Natalya was down and out for the count. You see Natalya still down and out on her feet. Big win for Lola Vice here tonight at NXT Underground.
Is she trying to get Shayna to celebrate the way she celebrates? I thought Lola was trying to get Shayna to shake it, and Shayna looked at her like, get the hell out of here.
Let's see what Roxanne Perez has to say about that. Of course, no love lost between her and Lola Vice, but you got to see Lola Vice definitely putting her name up there to maybe challenge for the NXT Women's Championship. Next play is next week. What? What?
Oh, shit.
Chelsea Green versus Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's Championship next week? What the hell? Wait, what? Why? How? Yes. What the hell? Chelsea Green's in NXT? Well, as we go off the air, for the American JJ Williams and for Walter Cruz, this has been NXT Spring Breakin'. I'm the Seminole Foster. Thank you for tuning in. Chelsea Green's in NXT. Holy hell.
Yeah, what the hell is that about? Didn't she just
I don't know. I don't know.
But just like all the other people from the brands, NXT is a safe ground where they can come down. We saw her on the phone with Adam Pearce earlier. Granted, she's now on SmackDown, which is a Nick Aldis presentation.
Or Nick Aldis.
But still, like, she's in good with the GMs. Probably just a loner. You got to figure, and I was trying to say this to somebody on social medias earlier. We'll get this done and then we'll wrap up because I know Noah's got predictions on the no DQ side of things here in about 8 minutes.
Yeah.
People have to remember that Roxanne's title run was supposed to be Cora Jade's title run. Roxanne more than likely was going to get drafted this year, but with her being champion and being protected and being in the Cora spot, she's got to, stay down here. So what better way to make sure that Roxanne is ready come next year or come SummerSlam or whatever than by feeding her main roster talent to be feuding with and fighting with and defending the title with.
Chelsea Green, though.
Roxanne doesn't need to be defending the title against Lola Vice or Thea Hale or any of those girls until someone is ready to actually dethrone her. In the meantime, let her fight Chelsea Green. Let her fight Natalya. Let her fight Shayna Baszler. Let her fight Zoe Stark. These women on the main roster that ain't doing jack diddly shit.
Accurate.
Yeah.
And Roxanne proves that she's ready for the call-up once she gets up there.
Oh, boy.
Chelsea Green. Proving ground.
That's hilarious. I love that. That's
because Chelsea Green is way better than you and other people give her credit for, Mansfield.
Yeah,
just because her gimmick is annoying doesn't mean her ability sucks.
Her gimmick's more memorable than most of the people you actually like, Josh, and she's actually more credible. I said what I said. Shoot,
yes,
she was the MVP of the damn Royal Rumble.
I love Chelsea Green. My only problem with her going to SmackDown is I'm going to miss Samantha saying Chelsea Green.
Well, it is, as we continue to move forward in a new era.
Let's really quickly run through these shows, and then we'll sign off. Like Noah mentioned earlier, tomorrow, 3 o'clock Pacific, 6 o'clock Eastern, Simply Predicting for Backlash. Thursday, we've got Simply Predicting for Under Siege, 1 hour after Impact goes off the air, 8 o'clock Pacific, 11 o'clock Eastern. Of course, our watch-along coverage for Under Siege Friday, kicking off at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. Noah and Dattila on the call. We'll probably have someone doing color until Dattila can join us. Backlash on Saturday, May the 4th. Coverage begin at 9 a.m. Pacific because WWE hates us West Coasters. Noon Eastern. Immediately following that, it'll be Jeff Meacham doing the no DQ recap for Aaron Rift because Aaron is going to be at Virtue's wedding. So make sure you tune in for that. roughly an hour after the pay-per-view ends. We don't know exactly what time. Who will be the next champion? Walter Cruz, Noah, and I will be discussing that.
Yes.
And then 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern kicks off a Retro Dads double feature as we get a little bit of lead into open mic night. Jeff and I rank the Star Wars saga and discuss our top 10 favorite characters from a galaxy far, far away, which of course leads into open mic night Star Wars trivia in the style of Jeopardy with your host, Renegade Trebek, asking the questions, Noah manning the producer's board.
JJ Trebek.
So we got so much content coming up in the next few days. Thank you to James for manning the production for the first little bit while I was indisposed and on my way back here. Thank you for Walter for co-hosting with Noah until I was able to get on screen. Noah, thank you for a masterful call as always. Thank you to everybody who joined us here for our production. And we will see you guys tomorrow for Simply Predicting.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.